Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 26 of Storm King's Thunder, right here at Proficiency Bonus. We are so glad that you are hanging out with us tonight and going on this wonderful Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure with our wonderful cast and party tonight. I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that we're going to go a couple quick shout outs first before we get into some of the announcements. But as far as our shout outs go, we want to thank Team MZ for all of their support. We also want to thank Many Sided Dice and Nightshade Creations for coming on board and partnering with us. You can check out their websites and all the things that they offer right down below our video. We got some links for you there. That you guys can check out their websites and things of that nature. I also want to apologize really quick. I didn't get time, but our adventurers tonight they leveled up last week and are level 6 this week as they start this new episode. And I did not get a chance to upgrade their character cards on the stream, so you'll have to bear with us and know that those stats aren't completely correct, as they'll be still showing level 5 on those characters' sheets. Also, one thing that's new to Twitch is they are now doing special badges for clipping different video clips during the episode. So if something happens that's completely nuts or crazy, or Ashlyn bumps her head on something, or just something, Callista does something crazy to Lachlan, and you just want to capture that moment, make sure to go ahead and clip those because you'll have an opportunity to earn some badges in chat and some different things of that nature. So check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. So clip away, everybody. Make sure you chime in on that. Also, as far as Team MZ goes and Many Sided Dice and Nightshade Creations, we're currently looking for more partners. So if you're watching this right now or you're watching this on YouTube and checking us out and enjoy the stream, and you have some merchandise or something along those lines that you'd like to partner with us, give us a shout at proficiencybonus@gmail.com. So I'm going to go ahead and take you guys over to the party. I'm going to run this over, and here everybody can say hello. MG looks real excited to be here tonight. He's had his 4 Red Bulls. He's ready to go. Well, we've got our excellent cast back together again to join in on this wonderful episode. Last time that we were together, our party was headed towards the town of Fireshear. Basically off the tip from Sarvin, the King of the Frozen Far, the Dragonborn adventurer that they kind of come across during their travels. Tip that he knew someone in Fireshear that could either help Callista and Diana to help with the training of their griffins and help to train them to be able to ride and control the griffins. So coming into town, they realized that Sarvin was a little bit nervous about coming back. Gave some hints to some of the adventurers that he wasn't exactly too liked in Fireshear. So they made their way running into some crag cats along the trail who were kind of stalking the party a little bit, looking for something to eat. Our party easily handled the crag cats and moved on, finding themselves at Dashara's residence, where we left off last week. So what I was going to have to start off this evening was, I didn't know if you guys wanted to just kind of wake up the next morning, or if there was something that anybody wanted to do that night beforehand. I'm not sure if there was something in particular that anybody wanted to do, but I was going to leave it open. But otherwise, I was going to open the episode with, the break of the morning sun. There's Zos. We got our video on now.
Ashlyn is gonna see if she can purchase some meat for the griffins.
Purchase some meat for the griffins?
Yeah.
Like going into town to purchase meat for the griffins?
No, from the trainers there.
From Dashara herself?
Yeah, or one of the guards or something.
Okay. One of the guards, Kentucky, is nearby. Deshara right now in this current state is actually in her small kind of hovel, talking to Callista right now. I think that's where Callista left off. Was in
Right, right.
some conversation with her. So you can either talk to Kentucky there in the in
I'll
the.
talk to Kentucky. He's such a stand-up fella.
Okay, so Ashlyn, you approach Kentucky. He kind of just he's up in the loft with you guys. He's kind of getting things ready. It looks like he himself is getting ready to kind of take his leave from his shift. It seems like there are 6 guards that are on duty here at all times, and 3 of them kind of take their breaks at a time, and 3 of them are kind of outside. Usually 2 are guarding the griffins, and 1 is kind of nearby. Um, Either the hovel where Deshara resides, or you guys have actually noticed that 1 has been stationed by your horses.
Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna go up to Kentucky and be like, "Hey, um, meat for the griffins. Where do I get that for meat? For money?
For money?
Yes, I will pay you money for meat."
you well, I'm sure it will be fine here. We've Deshara's got plenty of that.
Okay. I go over there.
Over where? You just walk away?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to Deshara?
Yeah.
Okay, so all of a sudden, Ashlyn just walks away as Kentucky's just like watching you, like halfway of spreading his bedroll out onto the floor in this loft, and he's just like, it's almost like he doesn't know how to respond because you just walk away and he's just sitting there and still kind of engaged in conversation, and you start climbing this ladder down to the outside, and you realize it's starting to get dark outside as you do so. As you kind of make your way towards the hovel, you do see that there is the 1 guard that's kind of standing over there by your horses, and they're just tied to this just a couple simple horse posts that just like kind of stick out of the ground. And
Where our bags are?
if you didn't take them with you, but that's up to
Okay.
you. If you wanted to leave it there, you could left it there.
No, okay. I still am going over to the hut.
Okay, sure. So you head to the hut. The door seems to be
with her. I want to do some detect magic
okay.
in her apartment tent thing.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. So you start to kind of concentrate on this. It is vocal, so you're kind of speaking these incantations, and she kind of looks at you awkwardly. She kind of has her back turned towards you, and she seems to be kind of organizing some things. It's a very small room, um, so she kind of like turns and looks towards you. And like, what are you doing?
Checking.
Checking what?
Well, like I said, I don't trust the Zentrum.
Oh, them. They're just paid. They'll do anything for money.
Peace of mind.
Okay. As you cast it, you notice that
Exactly my worry.
in what seems to be probably a trunk that's buried under a couple old rugs, you do have a sense of something magical within the trunk. It is beaming a little bit. Nothing that's going to like put you on the floor magical, but you do have a some kind of sense of
What about
magical
her
items.
brooch that was on the cloak?
You can make a history check on that if you'd like. We'll call it a history check. You're not really sure. Nope is correct. And at just about that time, as you're kind of looking closely at that, you guys hear a knock on the door. And Deshara kind of looks. It's just probably one of your friends, and starts heading over to the door. Her stout dwarven self walks over there and opens the door and sees Ashlyn standing just outside.
Hey, I want some meat.
Some
I have some money.
so- fantastic. What's the meat for?
The griffins.
Oh, the meat for the. Don't worry about that now, dear. We'll handle that in the morning. They'll be fine.
No, I want meat.
You want meat? Just go. Uh,
This is just like, I don't know.
and she kind of gives you an awkward look, Callista, too, as you say. She, uh, I'll be right back. And she walks out with Ashlyn. The door closes behind, and Ashlyn, just come this way, and she just starts kind of leading you. The sun kind of has that. It's kind of eclipsed back over the horizon, and you guys can see that the sky is this kind of a deep red as it's getting close to dark. But she leads you off into this area beside the where the griffins are kept, the stables, and there's a few barrels and crates that are alongside, and she opens up here, and she just grabs this like wad of kind of this wad of meat and just hands it to you. It's kind of wrapped up in some just kind of seems like parchment paper bag kind of deal, and she hands it to you. Yes.
Thank you for your meat.
You're welcome. Will this do?
Yes, it's perfect.
And I'm sure we will go over this tomorrow.
Okay.
We
Fair.
will work on this.
Oh, okay. We can work together.
Sure. Now, which griffins are you feeding this to?
Gizzard.
Gizzard. Ashlyn, you're gonna have to be extremely careful.
Okay.
Gizzard, there's some things that, and this is stuff that I was going to teach you starting tomorrow. So you see, Gizzard has a problem where he really likes to eat everything. So you gotta be very careful. If once he sees that meat, he's going to come after that meat,
I'm
and
just gonna throw it at him.
you're gonna throw the meat at Gizzard. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Another thing you must be careful about is if you just give him just a little bit of appetite, he may get on one of his spurs. You know, he really likes horses, and you know, we have a lot of domesticated ones, and she kind of looks over towards the guard that's standing beside your horses. He's like, if we get Gizzard going, there is a good chance that
Can I ride him? Will he let me ride him if I give him this meat?
it is Ashlyn, correct? Do I got your name right?
Yes.
Okay. Ashlyn, you got calm down. You know what? Better yet, give me this meat. And she takes it from you. she puts it right back into the crate and closes the door. She's like, Ashlyn, yes, I will train you to ride Gizzard, but you gotta promise me that you're going to be very careful. And
Okay.
and you will listen to everything I have to say before you do so.
Oh, I was gonna cross my fingers behind my back. You gotta excuse me.
Sleight of hand. She got 8. Let's see if she can make a perception check to see how she does against that. Let me double check and see what character sheet she's running, because that'll be too good if she sees it. Oh, where is that? There it is.
Promise.
You promise. Okay, I see. She's listed as one of these. You should have used your inspiration on that roll.
Oh yeah. I forgot about
Let's see. Character sheet.
It's from all the times you bumped your head. It's understandable.
it.
All right, I've got never whisper rolls. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Perception. Here we go. Let's see if she figures this out.
Wow,
Yes.
I promise I
she has her thick hair kind of braided to both sides, and you can see her like grab one of the braids, and she's kind of twisting her finger around the braids and then like letting it go and then twisting it. She's like, "You have your fingers crossed behind your back, don't you?"
I might.
She's like, Ashlyn, I think it's getting late. It may be a good time for you to get some rest. We can handle all of this in the morning. It really can wait. We've got the next 3 days together.
3 days? That's so exciting. Okay.
Okay, so you're just like standing there after saying okay, and she's like,
Yeah.
okay. Well, please be careful and just wait. Stay away from Gizzard just till the morning.
Okay, I yell, "Good night, Gizzard!" And then I walk away back to the hovel thing. No, back to the big barn thing.
Okay. Matthew, what are the comments on player volume?
Digitio is saying that it seems like everyone seems to be very low volume.
Weird. Let me try something very quickly.
When MG asked if it was all players, Digitio said, "Yeah, it seems like it's everyone." Hasn't heard Diana or Lachlan at all, but I don't think they've really spoken yet. So
Testing 1, 2, 3.
okay, he
Yeah.
says you're fine, but the rest of us are.
Test.
I tried something, so let's see if that works. Yeah, for some reason I am unable to see the Twitch chat coming in.
Now?
Hey, I have a question. I just looked at our loot. Why do we have a tombstone?
We were
I mean, why not, right?
That I think that was Lachlan who took it.
Oh
No, it was Callista who took it.
No, I
it
did not take the tombstone. Nope, I did not.
It was the giant that you and Moby were looting that had it on their possession.
Yeah, but I don't
Lachlan,
think I...
Diana, and Molfin weren't there. It was only the two of you.
Okay, does anybody
Then it was probably Moby because I didn't take that.
Digitio says it's a little better, yes.
a little better? Okay. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I tried to bring up everybody else a little bit, so we will see how that works out. If it's too loud or something's going on, just let me know. Matthew, let me know because for some reason my Twitch chat, I cannot see anybody's chats coming through for some reason.
You're that Twitch chat, you are mine.
Matthew, I've given Twitch chat to Matthew. Oh no, here we go. Excellent. So, Ashlyn kind of heads back. I guess you'd be heading back up the ladder.
yes.
So she heads back up the ladder. Deshara herself makes her way back into her hut. Callista, was there anything that you would have been doing inside this hovel while this conversation was going on?
Aside from like setting up all the I guess we were preparing food for everybody, right?
Yeah, I think she was preparing some food for everybody.
Is there any guards close outside?
The closest guard is probably about 40 feet away from the door, kind of standing over by the horses. The next closest guard is probably about the same distance away, like in front of the griffin stables.
Okay, I'm just gonna pop my head out and walk far enough so they're within range and kind of just look around and try and gauge if they have any magical items on them.
Okay.
Before going back in and working on the food.
Yeah, as you're walking around, you don't get any other sense of anything magical within the vicinity, especially on the guards. They seem to be, as you kind of look like standard issue weapons that they're holding in armor.
Then yeah, I'll just go back inside and prepare the food.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have no problem putting the food together. Deshara comes back, and just enough to put a couple more herbs and spices into the food as you guys kind of finishing up. She's got a lot of different things around, a lot of different food items that she uses inside. Seems like she cooks a lot and has a lot of different things that she uses, possibly to feed the griffins and things like that with inside. She brings the food up to you guys. Actually, kind of, Callista, you notice that she kind of separates the food in these plates and things, and kind of lets you take it from here. It seems like
I'm gonna cast levitate and take it all up.
awesome. So you guys notice as you guys are
From Molfin's book.
there, you go. You guys are all sitting in you're all sitting in this loft, and all of a sudden Callista just floats up into the loft and sets her
With a
feet
tray.
down with the robe that she wears just kind of slowly blowing in the wind as she comes into the doorway. Yes, exactly. Imagine Storm from X-Men just floating in with all these bowls of stew.
And I have the white hair. It's so appropriate.
And she's like a waitress that's like a seasoned veteran waitress. She has all these bowls like on her forearms and stuff as she walks through, or kind of like hovers through, levitates through.
Level 20. Knowing that the Centaurum are out and about, I would like to immediately check my food for poison because Diane does not trust this.
I mean, fair.
Sure. Yeah. Actually,
Rolling not very well.
you know what, Diana? You are absolutely convinced that yours is poisoned.
No, they're trying to kill me. I knock it off the table like I can't.
She just it splatters all over the wooden floor.
No!
It starts.
Trying to kill me.
I helped make that.
I take a forkful off the floor and eat it.
As you're doing that, Lachlan, you're kind of taking this kind of forkful of this. It's like this nice beef chunky stew that you're just like scooping up. You can see through some of the cracks in the floor. There's a griffin right below you, and
No.
it's like eyes meet yours like between one of the cracks in the floor, and it's trying to lick some of the stew that's dripping down through. It's like from between the wood planks, it's like face to beak. It's like right there.
I like tuck my legs up on whatever I'm sitting on.
There's a griffin down there.
I hope it doesn't eat gnomes.
Just stay away from it and it won't eat you. Diana, are you really that worried about those people still?
She has every right to be worried about them.
Thank you, Callista. I think it's a very reasonable, healthy fear.
Come along, everyone. Huddle in. Within about 10 feet.
Why are we huddling?
Just do it already.
Yeah,
Oh,
Can I
How you
insight
feel?
check Molfin?
sure.
Yeah.
You can. You can insight check Melvin.
Where is this coming from?
Yeah. You kind of got a hint that Molfin is trying to get you guys to talk a little bit quieter because Kentucky is right over there trying to make his bed.
I go right between the big hug.
Come along, you two.
Okay.
It's like it's football huddle around this small wooden table in the loft.
Nice. Nice reference.
And a shimmering 10-foot dome appears around the group.
Nice. So all of a sudden, this 10-foot dome appears around all of you. So is it something that everybody else can see, or for 8 hours?
Can't see in if he doesn't allow them to.
Oh yeah, you can decide how
It's
it looks.
basically we have, well, everyone except for me has free access in and out of it for the rest of the group. But as far as what they're seeing, it's sort of an iridescent, just half globe, 10 foot, where there was once a huddled group of people. It's just, sort of a shimmering bluish purple, like that strange paint you see on some cars. Where the
Awesome.
light hits it and just
Yeah,
shifts from
yeah,
blue
yeah.
and purple.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yes, I love it.
Approved.
Oh shoot.
Fantastic.
Now, Diana, if you are concerned about this, now, unfortunately, it is only a 10-foot space here, but, well, 10-foot
10-foot
radius,
radius.
so we have about 20 feet, but remain in here for 8 hours. No one can enter.
Impressive.
Okay.
What if I have to use
Alright.
the bathroom?
Well, you are here, so you are free to go and come and go as you see fit.
Use that corner
Oh.
over there.
But if our friend Kentucky was to come charging in with a pickaxe to embed it in Diana's skull as she is so fearful of, he is unable to get through the wall.
I just. All right. That's.
No, this is really useful, Molfin.
It is.
Yeah,
I'm
but this looks very
genuinely
suspicious,
impressed.
doesn't it?
And I feel better. But do I like? Can this be like my own like room? Like, can I pimp this out, or like, is there like
Can you
Like
try to craft some flowers?
It is a 20-foot dome. That's about all I have here. At least at this point.
Okay. Can I be alone with it, or does sleeping in this thing also mean?
We're all kind of stuck in
It is a 20-foot dome.
You keep
It's like
saying
we're all in one large tent.
Okay.
All right, so it's just like camp. Cool. Okay. I like it. I like it better than having that assassin outside.
He's a good guy.
He was not outside. He was just about 7 or 8 feet over that way.
And they're all married, which is really weird. I don't see that many females, so who are they married to? Oh, well, that's cool too.
I don't know if this will help the situation, but she's assured me they are hired.
For each other.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. Sure.
We've come to Gay Island.
Yeah.
No.
But Molfin is just trying to make eye contact with Lachlan, is just shaking his head, trying not to laugh.
Whatever works.
This is our lives now.
So,
I would recommend getting some sleep while we have this little thing here. Something tells me morning comes fairly early for these farm types.
Oh. All right.
Question.
What?
Where are the griffins? Do you two have them?
I'm
Just
holding
wondering.
Mine. Of course I'm holding mine.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't let her go since we got here.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Cool.
My griffin head out of my chain mail from the center of my chest. It's just like, boop.
No games, Lachlan.
Oh, me never.
you guys, you guys can hear like what sounds like somebody's just like the squeak of glass, and you turn your head to the side, and Sarvin is like trying to peek in this dome from the outside. And he's
I want to mash my tongue against the glass near where he is.
Oh my god.
you can see like he's trying to talk, but you guys can't hear a word he's saying. He's just like moving back and forth. And
Hey, Molfin, can we make like a drive-through window and like say something?
He can stick his head out whenever he wants to.
You can step through the wall and come back in yourselves, as long as I remain in this area.
Okay,
I don't
I'll
want
step out of the wall.
funny. I want to like make a window and then when I'm done talking to him, I want to just slide it shut and be like, "You're done." I'm a window on somebody.
You could probably like peek out and then Homer Simpson back into it. You
Yeah, yeah, you could. Mhm.
Stick your head through the wall and then retreat.
So, you doing that, Diana?
Yes, I'm gonna go out and be like, "What?"
So Diana's head just like starts to emerge out of this dome, and it just like there's like this shining like glow around where you're kind of just sticking your head out through as you just move your head out, and Sarvin's like, oh,
Looks like a turtle.
and he just kind of stares at you with his newly fashioned mask that he's been wearing.
Everybody has that.
Did you need something?
Oh, I was just wondering what everybody was up to. That's all.
Aww.
Welcome to Molfin's Dome. What can I get you?
Making sure everybody was okay.
I stick my head out. Are you lonely, Sarvin?
So now it's Ashlyn's head sticking out too. Well, maybe a little.
I come all the way out, and I don't know anything about these flying worm people, so I'm like, okay, I'll stay with you, Sarvin.
Oh, well, thank you, Ashlyn. I do appreciate that.
Ashlyn, girl, you could get like murdered
From flying worms, that's just silly.
from.
Aren't you calling them flying worm people? I haven't seen one flying worm person.
Ashlyn, the married men, okay? They are
Oh.
assassins. All of the married men. Any man who is married in this place, okay, is probably gonna kill us.
Oh! Oh, we should have brought Sarvin in on this.
You know what? We probably should have.
But the married men are assassins trying to kill us.
Yes. Do you see their ring? Like, yes. Okay. Don't doubt me on this. I know.
Does the ring bestow them special powers?
No, just makes them a special kind of jerk.
I see. He looks over at Kentucky, who's laying on the floor, kind of getting comfortable, getting ready to go to sleep, and another one of the Zentarum guards kind of emerges into the room as well, and kind of heads over to the corner, and seems like he's getting his own place to sleep ready. And it's like, well, they don't look very menacing to me. I will.
They never do.
I do trust you though, and I'll keep my eyes on them.
I
Thank you.
transfer 4 hours, so I'll keep an eye on you, Sarvin, if you want to sleep or anything.
Oh, that's okay. I've got some work to do this evening anyway.
Okay. I go back in the dome.
yeah. The other the halfling he's already asleep on the floor outside of the dome, curled up in the corner in a bedroll. He basically, cried himself to sleep, still
Oh.
thinking about his dead father.
These poor things.
Who is still wrapped up on the back of a toboggan outside somewhere in vines and flowers.
Outside in the forest, where rogue, evil people live.
Well, this area is more kind of like a open tundra area. There were a little bit of light forest kind of coming in, but it kind of broke it up before you guys got to this area. It seems like this is a nice big open space that Dashara likes to use to train these creatures and train others to ride them.
Where
So-
are the gnomes from? The halflings from?
You know, Ashlyn, that they are from some type of small village, probably back by Waterdeep. Way south from where you guys are.
We're gonna deliver the body there. It's gonna go bad.
Yeah, you have a good idea that it will be pretty rotten and nasty if you continue to take the body with you.
Oh no.
Mm.
Can I Oh, is it possible to heal it over and preserve it? Is it possible to preserve it?
Well,
That's
it's
what I've been trying to do.
it's a little bit easier. To be honest, it's easier in the north or right now where you're at because it's very cold, so it won't rot as quick. But once
Oh,
you
that's lovely.
once you start to move into warmer temperatures, it's probably not the best for it.
Oh.
The entire tundra is a morgue.
Freeze the body. Well, if only we had somebody with some ability of summoning arcane cold.
That makes
As Molfin takes a sip.
Molfin.
Yeah, who's that?
I'll go back into the dome.
Yeah. As Diana just puts her head back into the dome.
It absorbs me like slime.
Yeah, it's like it just absorbs you.
I'll go to Molfin and be like, "Hey, Molfin, I have a interesting request that I thought of looking at that poor destitute halfling over there.
Oh, yes. How can I be of assistance?
His father's, I hate to say it, his father's corpse is probably going to get very rank by the time we're at their hometown down south. Would it be possible if, with your arcane abilities, you froze it so it didn't rot?
I do not know if I can freeze it solid, but I will go over and examine the remains in the morning and see what can be done.
Thank you, and I'll give him a little quick hug, and then I'll go make my little tent.
Okay.
We're at that point now, I think. I think we've nearly died together enough to be able to, like, hug like a real grandfather and granddaughter.
So how does Molfin respond to this embrace from Diana?
Very quick. It is very brief. It's like one of those Mormon side hugs.
It's-
Molfin has the immediate thought of, I'm not going to be this close again.
Oh no.
I'm looking to see if I can see where she stores the gem.
Oh. Okay. Make an investigation check.
I'm burning my inspiration on this.
With advantage. Oh. So, Diana, where were you stowing away your gem?
What do we want to know?
In her boobs.
In her boot?
In her boobs.
In her boobs, okay. So as Diana gives you this quick side hug, Molfin, you how should I say this the correct way? I didn't walk into this, didn't I? As you are just trying to cast your gaze nonchalantly, you catch the slight glimmer of the gem placed between two areas. So you got a good view of where the gem is being kept.
Sure.
Can't do anything with that knowledge. But
You reach for it, you're gonna lose an arm. Do I know that he knows? Do I know he saw? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, just
I tell you what, Diana, you went in for that hug. You left yourself open.
I did. Let's take up the trusting again. What's wrong?
Molfin will save you whether you want to be saved or not.
For her own personal reasons, sentimental. You know what? We're not getting into it, but Diana will get into it. Diana will just go and make her a bedroll and not, obliviously.
Okay. Any
Maybe button up her skirt better.
bed of a shirt better than Okay. What else?
I'm poking Molfin with my mage hand and waggling my eyebrows.
Yes. Molfin, you don't think that Diana saw you, but you're pretty sure Lachlan saw what you were doing.
But I'm assuming that I would think Lachlan has no idea what I was doing in terms of my real goal.
Prurient.
Yeah, he's pretty much convinced that you were looking at her chest, not looking for the gem. Yeah, that's probably totally what it was. So so Callista is also in this dome still as well. Are you guys all kind of going to stay within this dome area, or some of you going to?
Oh, I'm staying in this dome.
Okay.
And I'm
I am
keeping
staying in the dome as well with my baby griffin.
Gotcha. Lachlan, are you staying within the dome as well?
Yeah, but I'm testing to see if the mage hand can like pass through the dome and stuff.
That's a good
And
question.
the outside world.
Can it, Molfin? It can't?
Nope. No spell effects can go across either way.
Yeah, basically what happens is your mage hand gets close and it's like kind of like a fish bumping into the edge of an aquarium. it just keeps on like hitting itself off the edge.
Everything is
shoot
broken.
the bow through it though, because it's not magical. And you had the items on you when it was cast.
Oh yeah. See, yes, is that how that reads? Yeah.
It says creatures and objects within the dome can pass through it freely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, yes, a ranged attack could go out of it.
As long as it's not a spell, right?
Right, as long as
Right.
it's not a spell. If it's like an arrow or a crossbow, could easily go through.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
nothing else
But
can come
nothing can
through.
come in. It can
Yeah.
go out, but not in. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
So we could literally just sit in here, fire
Sit
arrows
here-
out.
yes, exactly.
Cool.
And Ashlyn finds herself sitting outside with a sleeping halfling and a white dragonborn with a interesting Ninja Turtle mask on, who is back to whittling a piece of wood that he had picked up as he was moseying his way through the light forest on his way to Deshar's residence. Anything else that anybody would be doing? Okay. All right. At this point, I need Molfin and I need Diana to make a
Death saving throw.
let's call this a Constitution saving throw.
Because of the sleep paralysis.
No. Oh no. Oh.
Double
man.
fail.
That's bad.
Okay. As you guys are sleeping, Molfin, you start to hear whispers in your dreams. At first they sound very distant, and then they start to get closer to you as you're kind of drifting off. They sound like screams, but in that kind of whisper tone. Like you can hear these like screams that are barely able to get out. They sound like the screams of women. Then you hear these pounding noises, as if someone is trapped inside something and they're just slamming their hands against a door or against glass or against something that's trapping them. And the screams are muffled. And these continue to kind of wake you up in the middle of the night to just beads of sweat that are pouring off of your brow. Diana, you are haunted all night by the image of Zulkin.
Oh,
Ew.
But it's strange because the areas of your dreams where you run into Zulkin are these very magical places. Almost the kind of things you would just think of, just this fantastical area where it's just glowing with these bright pinkish, light bluish aura with these like little fairies flying all around. And you see Zulkin standing there, and he's got a very big smile on his face. And he looks to you, and as he looks to you, he's got that charm that you saw in him the first time that you've ever met him. You can see that little twinkle in his eye as he looks towards you. And you almost have this sense where you can see yourself with him, like holding both of his hands and kind of swinging back and forth in a circular motion as this magical music plays in your head. And it's almost brings you away from, the reality of the way things turned out. And then you guys wake up. And it's the morning of the next day.
I wanted to wake up first and just wait for
Okay.
everybody to wake up.
Callista and Ashlyn can both trance, correct? You guys
Yeah.
both trance. Diana, you trance as well, right?
do
Half-
I?
ha- do I-
Half-elves?
Do half elves trance?
I'm a wood elf.
Sure.
I'm a widow.
Yeah, I know elves do. Do half elves trance as well, or do they do 8 hours?
I'm
Double
checking. I
check.
got my book right here. It doesn't say anything about trancing for them.
Okay, so yeah, I guess the half elves, you guys would probably need to sleep your 8 hours then.
Yeah, I
Happy
wanted to
shoot.
wake up like just before everybody else.
Okay.
Like, probably an hour before everyone else.
Ashlyn would probably technically be able to be the first to awaken with her trance. So Ashlyn, as you wake up, you notice that Sarvin is passed out. Just kind of like laying there. He didn't even get a chance to cover himself up with any blankets or anything. He's just like laying. He looks like he fell asleep in the middle of carving whatever he was carving. It's still in his hand. Seems like the couple of the other guards are just laying in bed sleeping as you waken. Is there anything that you wanted to do for a few hours before the rest of the party kind of emerges?
I just cover Sarvin with a blanket.
All right, cover Sarvin up. Actually, as you're doing that, you notice that in his hand is a miniature of you.
Oh.
It's beautifully crafted and carved. It looks pretty much exactly like you. He's kind of caught you in this really cool, like, monk pose with your quarterstaff, like getting ready to attack in the midst of heated battle.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it, but secretly be really pleased.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. So as the rest of you start to awaken, Callista, your eyes awaken, and you can see that both Molfin and Diana seem to have, I don't know, it seems like Diana hasn't slept very much. You actually wake up and see that her eyes are just wide open, like staring upwards. And Molfin is actually kind of tossing and turning with all this sweat kind of pouring off of his brow. Lachlan seems to be sleeping just fine.
Yeah, I figured as much. I'll kind of like sit beside her and
Beside whom?
you okay? You okay?
I blink and look at Callista and I'm like, objectively, certainly. No, just, weird dreams and not the kind that I'm used to.
What were you dreaming about? It looks, no offense,
What?
but you look pretty rough right now.
I'm sorry, I did not hear any of that. What was that?
Oh, I said no offense, but you look kind of rough right now. What kind of dreams were you having?
You know, you remember that night that I came to you, those other nightmares of you know who and all of that. Actually tell Callista. Anyway.
as she's talking to you, Callista, she's like talking to herself. Like, did I tell her?
You kind of did. Were they different this time?
It's just like that again. It's weird. It's like dreams that are happy until they're not. I don't know. It's difficult to describe. It was just a rough night, alright? I'm gonna go get breakfast or whatever.
Diana, you have these huge bags under your eyes. You don't think you slept very well at all last night, and mechanically speaking, you have one level of exhaustion, meaning that you will have disadvantage on your ability checks for the day. As Molfin awakens, his beard is just matted with sweat. Like it looks nasty because he's been sweating all through his beard all night. And Molfin, mechanically, you also did not sleep very well, so you have suffered a point of exhaustion where you will have disadvantage on your ability checks as well.
Molfin wakes with a start, a shout, and a random firebolt at the ceiling. Just a panic reaction.
And it goes right through the ceiling, leaving a charred hole in the top of the ceiling right above your head.
Uncle Molfin, these people aren't gonna invite us back here.
Oh my god.
Is everyone okay?
Yes. Yes. Are you okay?
Can you fix the ceiling?
How did that happen?
You haven't.
He has amnesia too, along with Alzheimer's.
Callista, can you speak with plants and make plants like happen? Like wood, branches, druid stuff.
Hey, Callista, is that how I think she's rebooting to? Or are
What
you?
was that? I just heard Callista.
I tried to change the server in Discord to see if it worked any better, guys.
Oh, I think it might have did because now I can hear people.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow,
good.
nice.
Molfin woke up with a start and put a hole in the ceiling with a firebolt.
Oh my god.
Ashwin is asking if you could speak with plants and make them grow.
Digitio says it's okay, Molfin. Some people lose control of their bolts when they get older.
Same bolt as when you were younger.
Now the DM can see Twitch chat.
I can see Twitch chat now. Excellent, guys.
Try to druidcraft fine, so if it's snowing, it doesn't get on us. But
Okay.
how big's the hole, though?
That's what he said. Sorry.
you hear
Not too large. It's
you hear Kentucky
Okay.
Kentucky call out from over there. What's going on?
Nothing.
Oh wait,
Rough.
since it's magic, did it not go through the dome?
it's
The
8
dome's
hours.
gone by now, right?
Long
Oh,
rest is
okay.
gone. Dome's gone.
Okay.
Why is there a hole in the ceiling?
Griffin.
Yeah.
The
I'm gonna try to druidcraft around the hole with lines or something.
okay, yeah.
No.
You have no problem doing that, Callista. These vines kind of start to just weave around each other and kind of close the hole. You can still see little glimmers of light kind of peeking through some of the spots on the vines. But he kind of looks at you and looks at the rest. Well, I guess that'll do for now.
I got some wood carver's tools,
We will figure it out in a moment.
and I'm
I
a
need to
monk.
know.
I can karate chop lords in half. I think. I think that comes standard with monkness.
With monkness, yes.
You there, Kentucky. Tell me, is there a temple in town?
The temple, huh? Well, I mean, I think there are shrines, but as far as temples, the town of Fireshear really isn't a place of large establishment.
Any particular gods these shrines are for?
Hmm.
Who takes care of your dead?
Usually they're sent out to sea upon small ships, small boats.
Wonderful. Fine, I will go find what I'm looking for in town myself. And
Hmm.
Molfin's out. Just
Molfin-
taking off.
Moving out.
Diana is like,
Yeah.
Molfin,
Can
wait,
I
wait, don't you
insight
want to talk
Molfin?
about what that was? No, okay.
Yeah. Everybody's like staring at like Kentucky. Even like watches as Molfin like stumps by. It's like, "Look, what's his problem?" Yeah, go. You can insight. Are you trying to hide your motives, Molfin, or?
I just want to see what's
Molfin.
up with him this morning.
You can tell Molfin is not at all in any sort of decent headspace. He's way out in left field somewhere.
Yeah, now Callista's extra worried, considering she was already considering that Diana's thing had to do with her stone, and now that Molfin's acting up, she's like, oh, this isn't good. So she's going to take Diana and tell her to follow her to Deshra?
Deshara?
Deshara?
Yeah.
Deshara? Well, let's get your mind off it for now.
Alright, sure.
Yeah.
As we're leaving, though, I want to look at this in term and do, like, this. And I want to
Oh.
be like, I know what you are, you foul snake.
He kind of looks at you like with this terrible, like awful look on his face. Like, what? What did I do to you?
I point to the ring.
Just,
My question
wait.
That's nice, Diana. We're just married.
he kind of shrugs it off a little bit. It's almost like he's just kind of like, well, she has a problem with me for some reason. Fine. Yeah. So he kind of
Calista mimics her dirty look and just gives him a dirty look, but doesn't say anything.
as he walks away, he just kind of like shrugs his shoulders. He's not really sure. It's like, what do I gotta do? I don't know.
Lifestyle is very proud, so I'm gonna go this way too. Let's stalk off after them.
Lachlan's just standing there. What are you doing, Lachlan?
Just watch everybody leave.
Just watch everybody.
Man, Kentucky. I had a great night's sleep. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean,
Comfortable?
when you get paid as much as I'm getting paid, hey, I'll sleep anywhere.
Really? You guys hiring?
You have to talk to Deshara about that.
Might do it.
It's a much better pay than anything else. That's for sure.
I hear that.
Especially around here. Nothing ever really happens around here. It's easy work.
Seems a little remote out here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're under strict guidelines from Deshara to make sure none of the griffins get your horses. That seems to
I
be
appreciate it.
first priority. Second priority is to make sure Gizzard doesn't get out of his stable.
Gizzard, huh?
Yeah, Gizzard is the troublesome one.
Sounds like a troublesome name, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. He has this odd quirk too. Yeah, he has these two rocks that he keeps in his stable that he perches on top of them as if he's their mother. I think he believes that they're eggs or something. And like I'll watch him sometimes. It's interesting. He'll take his beak and he'll roll one out of the stable, like carefully, as if he's looking to see if anybody's watching him. And he'll continue to roll it outside, and he looks back and forth, left and right, just to make sure nobody's watching. But I'm watching the whole time. I'm standing 60 feet away. And he'll roll it out, and when I try to approach and get a little bit closer, he senses that I'm coming. He quickly takes the stone and uses his beak to roll it back into the stable as quickly as he can, and he perches back on top of the two. And then just sits there and stares at me as if nothing ever happened. It's the
Griffins.
strangest thing I've ever seen.
You must keep your job interesting.
Oh, every day is interesting. The other one, Quinn. Quinn can be difficult at times. Quinn has seasons, just never know what's going to happen with Quinn. Usually Quinn is very playful and in a good mood, but sometimes Gizzard can, rile Quinn up a little bit. But Quinn is easy to kind of, get back on the level. Gizzard not so much. When he goes off the deep end, he kind of just does what he wants to do.
Sounds like these things really have personalities to them.
They do. They have personalities, that's for sure. And I just fear sometimes that I wish they had the intelligence to match. You see, they're just not very smart creatures. No, you'll see in the next few days. I'm sure you're here to be trained. Isn't that why you're here?
Something like that, sure. Trained? You mean we're gonna get to are we gonna get to ride them?
Oh yeah, from our meeting this morning, Dashara said that she was going to make sure that you guys were trained and ready to go within 3 days. So our orders are to make sure that you're comfortable and that none of your horses fall victim to any of the griffins that we have.
Keep on doing what you do, Kentucky.
Oh,
You're a hero to us all.
so I gotta ask you, what's with the girls? I mean,
Yeah,
as far as I knew, I mean, was I giving some kind of non-verbal cues or something that's was offensive? I just I don't feel that I said anything offensive to anyone.
Yeah, stand-up guy. I don't even know.
It's just as soon as they saw me, it was like hate, and I don't.
I feel you. I have experienced the same thing.
You have? Oh.
And I'm innocent. I'm a good person.
You seem like a stand-up gnome.
I am. I guess it's just hard, in this world.
So you've been traveling quite a far distance?
Yeah, we've been traveling quite a bit. It's been quite an adventure.
So let me ask you, have you run into any giants?
Giants. You heard all the things going on lately.
I've heard rumors, but I haven't seen any myself to know. Just kind of curious.
We fought some.
Oh, really? Those the ones that you were talking about, Bryn Shander?
Yeah, it was up that way. We fought. I think they were frost giants.
Oh yeah, frost giants. They're pretty nasty.
The whole giant world is upside down right now.
Well,
So, it just takes a hero to change everything.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. A hero taking on all the giants?
Know that someday when Lachlan has cured the world of all the problems of the giants, that you met him.
Well, interesting. A very, I enjoy your humility, Lachlan.
That's one of the things.
And all of a sudden, you guys hear the coughing and snorting of the Dragonborn, who is just coming awake beside you.
Speaking of humility,
He wakes up. He kind of like, oh! I hope I didn't miss breakfast. Oh,
hey,
oh, hi.
Highness.
Lachlan the Legendary. It's good to see you such bright and early in the morning.
Sorry, you missed everybody.
I missed everyone. Where'd they all go?
Beats me.
Well, we best go find them.
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea.
And he kind of, as he's walking by you, kind of puts his hand on, like, down on your shoulder, and he's like, we best not communicate too much with the married folk. And he starts to go down the ladder. The ladder's creaking under the weight of this enormous dragonborn as he's going down.
Point to Team Tall.
He is Team Tall, isn't he?
Yes. So Lachlan, Kentucky just kind of looks at you oddly as Sarvin says that, and looks back
I'm
at
normal
you.
compared to him.
Normal?
Compared to that one, Dragonborn.
I'm trying to gauge, just meeting all of you together, I'm trying to gauge where that level of normal is. It's been very
I'm
difficult.
somewhere near the middle.
Blitz Greybeard, thank you for the bit. Bits Greybeard, there we go.
Then I'm gonna go try to kind of casually join Sarvin and find everybody else.
Okay, so Lachlan finds his way to everybody else. It seems like Deshara is already outside, and she has a few of the griffons outside as well. And it looks like that she has them kind of these, I don't know, these like leather straps that are kind of around their beak areas, and they have like a little, kind of like a long training leash on the end of these straps. And she kind of meets you all out there, and she has some just very quick kind of like ration, kind of like, I don't know, just think of something like some kind of Chex Mix or some kind of simple foods that you guys can just like munch on like really quickly. Like she looks like she's ready to get down to business like right away, early in the morning. And as you all kind of approach, she's like, all right. Good morning, everyone. Well, she looks at Diana and the bags under her eyes, and she looks at Molfin with this matted beard, and she's like, oh yeah, Molfin's not there. Molfin,
Molfin's gone.
you
He's into the city.
you head into the city. Doesn't seem as if all of you are here.
Where's Gramps?
Were we all supposed to be here?
Well, I guess I can start without some of. I was hoping to get all the training in these 3 days. Well, you know.
Smart, he'll learn from a book.
Well,
Guys, do we have to pay for this?
I was just gonna get to that. I was going to ask the Shara to explain what we discussed last night in terms of payment and training and what the girls should expect.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can discuss this. We can discuss this after dinner this evening.
Sure.
Be perfectly
First one's
fine.
free?
We'll discuss this after dinner. She kind of.
Diana and Callista really want to do it, I will give them my money to do it, and I'll just go pet Gizzard.
So you're gonna try to go pet Gizzard?
I have enough to pay for me and Diana.
Go ahead and make an animal handling check with disadvantage, Ashlyn.
No, because I'm gonna use my DM's inspiration. Is
Nice.
that how that works?
Yep. So yeah, it'll be a straight roll. Oh!
Wow, that's awesome.
So Ashlyn just walks right up to Gizzard, and Gizzard like almost like doesn't even notice her approach at first, and she just kind of latches on to Gizzard and starts petting Gizzard, and like just finds this spot, like kind of like you're petting your cat or your dog, and you just find that spot, and just instantly Gizzard just holds perfectly still and just allows Ashlyn to just pet him.
She must have done this before.
Deshara kind of looks awkwardly. She almost reaches out to say, "No, don't go." And it's like, "What? Impossible." Huh.
Michael, Twitch chat says the girls are still a little quiet.
Or the guys are loud.
Yeah, that's loud.
I turned up my volume. Maybe that helped.
Yeah,
Try turning mine up.
I got you guys up to 125. I'm gonna boost you back up in Discord a little bit. Try to get it up there.
Guys are actually quiet.
Speak directly in the microphone.
Okay.
Up your microphones like this, it'll make you sound like Batman.
Test. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Test.
Each Nissan.
Ichini-san-shi.
New York.
All right. I boosted you guys up a little bit more, so I hope that works.
Oh, Stumpy says the guys are quiet too.
Guys are quiet too.
Really?
I find that hard to believe.
Indeed.
Okay. Hey, guys, let me know if that's too loud.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now Stumpy says everybody except for you is low.
That is weird
now?
because I just blasted the volume like it's killing my ears right now.
Sorry, Michael.
Sorry,
It is-
Michael.
Is there something you
Weird.
can do in OBS to boost it?
Yeah, doesn't OBS has like the 2 microphone channels or something?
Yeah, I did. I doubled your volume in OBS.
Is it a
Cause see,
Is it a
I'm
Discord
not. I'm
thing?
wondering. I don't want to be like, well, maybe it's the user problem, but like one of my friends also was like, oh, everyone sounds really quiet, and then she turned up her computer volume and was like, oh no, wait, no, you don't. It was just my volume. I don't know
the
if,
old
like,
picnic
put
error?
the volume up or what.
The Pebcac.
Yeah, that's weird. Is
Oh my God,
is-
Jack.
is anything better now, guys?
It's much
Okay,
better, I
Digit
think.
is saying is much better. Now we're just waiting on Stumps.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got it way like louder than I normally do, so that's weird.
Strange.
Okay. So
Michael's
Stumpy
booming.
says he turned it up to the max to be able to hear the girls, but Michael is booming. But now it is a little better.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what's going on tonight. We'll continue to work on it. Make sure it's good. Cool. Sorry, guys. So, where were we?
She made an animal handling check with the gizzard.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Shara was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. Shara's
Is it a gross
shocked.
goddess?
Shocked. That this actually happened, and just kind of almost like quickly just like shrugs it off, and you got to sense that she just kind of wants to get started with the day and get things going. Well, it seems that Ashlyn has made a connection with one of our griffins. No, a lot of trainers say sometimes that the griffin will choose its rider, and I call that mumbo jumbo. I never believed that for a second. Usually it's more of a compromise between rider and griffin. A give or take sort of relationship, so to speak. So, at this point, when you guys are getting started, Molfin, you're headed towards Fireshear.
Yeah, no, he's just out. He's trying to find a temple or somewhere that they deal with the dead.
Okay. So, Molfin, you are kind of trudging your way across this frozen tundra area, and you start to see Fireshear just ahead. Fireshear's not really far away from where Deshara is. You're kind of cresting over this hillside, and you can see that Fireshear sits right next to it's all these small, what look like igloos that are fixated on this side of this cliff that is kind of almost awkwardly carved out cliff area that's a bay, and the bay is completely frozen. And you can see that out onto the ice of the bay, there are several small, looks like children out on the bay. It looks like they're just playing on the ice, and some of them are ice fishing through the small holes that they've carved into the ice. You see several other miners headed out, looking like they're headed towards the cliffs to start their day's work in the mines. Miners, yes, there you go. There's the miners. Miners.
Is it miners, or miners? Because, we gotta shut the whole city down because child labor laws.
Child labor.
Nice.
They do if Diana finds out about it.
Your nimble little fingers are good at like getting into all the mining stuff.
I'm gonna go ham, get a law degree,
Um,
activate in 20 years, and liberate the youth.
and Molfin, go ahead and make a survival check for me, please. And I think that's a skill check that you'll have a disadvantage on.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's got.
All right. So as you are searching for the temple, we'll go back to the rest of the group. It's going to take you a little bit of time.
I'll still be there 3 days from now, still wandering around looking for it.
And Deshara is kind of like standing out there looking at all of you. She kind of walks in front of Sarvin, and she gives him an awkward look at first. And then you notice Sarvin kind of look away almost quickly. And then I seem to have forgotten something in the loft. I'll be right back. And he starts to kind of like walk off, kind of like keeping his face like looking in the opposite direction of Deshara as he's walking towards the loft. The small halfling has made his way down from the loft, and he's kind of just like yawning outside, and just like kind of standing there, like looking around, kind of scratching his belly as he's just standing there. And you can see like Sarvin says something to him, and they quickly kind of go up the ladder of the loft. And then Deshara kind of looks at both Callista and Diana and sees the baby griffins that you guys are holding. And she rushes over to Diana. It's like, oh, have you been feeding these creatures?
Clutch my child, my real child. I'm his birth mother to my heart, very carefully, and I'm like, of course we have.
You have. Well, they look malnourished. They look a little frail for their age. Have you been feeding them the correct way?
Insight. I insight her because she
Oh, no.
seems
Sure.
Do they
Okay.
have to feed them
Yeah.
bird style?
They have to regurgitate raw horsemen.
So you haven't been. Oh my goodness! How can you call yourself its mother if you're not feeding it in a motherly manner? Oh, and she kind of. And she
Callista kind of takes a half step back from Diana, like, uh-oh.
Deshara kind of like almost storms away, almost seems frustrated. Her braided hair just kind of like flapping, off the back of her shoulders as she kind of like marches away. She, would you two please come here?
I follow.
Dad,
I
Okay.
kind of give Diana like a pat on the shoulder, like it's okay. This is new for
I'm
both
gonna
of us.
kill her.
Diana, this is for them, not us.
Okay. Okay, sure.
I know.
certainly.
I know. If she pushes your button
Callista,
too much, I know.
today is not the day with me.
I know.
I would like to stealth.
Sure, you can stealth. What would you like? What are you doing, Lachlan?
I'm just hiding.
Okay, go ahead. You can make a stealth check. Oh yeah. You can hide pretty much anywhere right now, Lachlan.
Cool.
Ashlyn's looking around for you. Ashlyn's like standing by herself now. Standing there kind of petting Gizzard the Griffin.
In the wrong.
I'll put my arm around Diana and just lead her towards.
Okay. Deshara stops at one of the crates that she had taken Ashlyn to before and kind of gets out a big hunk of wrapped meat, and she kind of puts it on her shoulder and starts to walk towards her small home, if you want to call it that. It's more like just a small hovel. And she kind of opens the door and doesn't hold it for either of you, but is like kind of yelling for you guys to come in. As the door starts to close before Callista can reach out and catch it and just open it and help Diana in as well. You can see she's just kind of looking. She's going around like looking for stuff. She like slaps the meat down on kind of beside where the fire is inside this hovel, and she starts not even looking at you guys. Callista, would you get that big pot over there? Diana, reach over there and get that jar on the top shelf over there on the side. That one there, the brown one with the light brown on the bottom. That one up there.
Thank you. I can follow directions very easily. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh no.
I'll go and I'll get it.
Fair enough. So you guys are all starting to get the things ready. She grabs the pot from Diana and kind of puts it on the fire and gets things ready. Starts to take some of this meat. It looks like an assortment of different kinds of meats, and starts to like toss it into the pot. Grabs the jar from Diana and starts to dump some of this liquid substance inside of it. And then she gets this other thing up and she hands it to you both. And it looks like this. It's made out of metal. It looks like this. It's like a meat grinder. On the end of it, it has these like spikes, but it's this like large, like squared shape at the bottom. And she just says, "Take this, and we're gonna take it and we're gonna grind all this meat into this. It's just a little bit of honey.
Interesting.
Just go ahead, just start grinding."
Okay.
So you guys start grinding this all, and all basically what's turning into this nasty, liquidy substance that's as you guys are smashing with this meat and stuff. Now comes the tough part. And you watch as she takes this large ladle and she scoops up a bunch of this mashed up raw meat with this honey mixture with some other liquids and herbs that she just like threw in there. Diana, this isn't going to taste very good. And when you're and when your mouth opened like that on camera for us, she shoves the ladle into your mouth and just says, "Don't swallow. Don't swallow it."
The first time she's ever heard that.
She says, "It's not going to taste good. Don't throw it up. Don't throw up."
She has heard that.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
disadvantage. Oh boy.
No, that's a saving throw. It's not a. That wouldn't be a skill check, right, Molfin? That's exhaustion one level 1. I think is only skill checks.
Yeah, it's only skill and ability checks.
No, Diana, you're able to not throw up all over the place, but
Wow.
it's not very good.
That's pretty awful.
Basically, and she looks at you. She's like, basically, to be a mother to a bird-like creature, you have to feed it like the mother of a bird.
I'm gonna pop her. I give Callista a look like one more time, and I'm rushing her with a dagger. Diana's got anger issues.
Callista is going to interrupt their glare and just, without hesitation, do the same thing.
So Callista grabs the ladle and shoves this into your mouth. Go ahead and make a Constitution save for us. You're able to... It surprises you, Callista, at first, how nasty it actually tastes. But you're able to not throw up all over the place as well.
Good job, guys.
And without hesitation, I go straight for Cleo.
All right.
I
And
as well.
it's as nasty as it seems, the creatures start eating out of your mouth. It's disgusting, but...
Bonding.
and Dashara just kind of walks out of the room, and the door closes, leaving you both in her hovel with your griffins.
Being a mother is so weird.
This is natural, Diana. You've got a point.
It's natural. What the?
This is the cycle of life.
Okay. You
Um,
understand our children are eating from our mouths?
You're talking to a druid.
Okay. Also,
Yeah.
we still have food in our mouths, don't we? Doesn't this entire conversation sound like...
oh,
I'm a druid!
I'm a druid! Piece of elk meat flies out of her mouth across the floor. It snaps. That's great. And Dashara approaches Ashlyn, who's standing there, still petting Gizzard, and Gizzard is just like sitting there, like she's just astonished as she walks up, and she grabs something of the inside. She like reaches inside the stable area, grabs something and pulls it out, and it looks like a really big shovel, kind of like imagine like a snow shovel. And she walks up to Ashlyn and is like, "So, one of the first things that I always teach to train is, well, we need to clean the litter." And she hands you this giant shovel, holds it out to you, Ashlyn.
She's going to be just drilling us to give up these babies.
And she looks at you, Ashlyn, and she's like, "Well, you see, cat-like creatures are easy to train.
Now they're cat-like.
Cat-like creatures are easy to train. The bathroom duty can be kind of disgusting at times, especially when you keep domesticated ones yourself. So she leads you on into the stables, and you can see in the corner of each stable is basically a large litter box that has this nasty clumps of excrement and dirt and just nasty things inside these giant litter boxes. And she's like, "Well, here's a bucket." She sets it down. If you could, don't stop with gizzards. Go ahead and hit the rest of them too. And then she just
But I only like gizzard. Oh.
And she just she just kind of glares at you as she walks out of the stables. Quickly now, chop chop.
Okay. Ashlyn doesn't care and cleans up gizzards and ends up just like sitting next to gizzard for the rest of the day because she doesn't do the rest of them.
All right, she doesn't do them. Okay.
No.
So you gotta get done. She kind of is looking around as she walks out of the stables. I thought there was another.
I'm still hiding to avoid chores.
Lachlan is tucked in behind some of the crates of food and stuff, just kind of looking around, ducking behind the barrels as she kind of puts her eyes that way. Huh. Well, I guess I'll take a break. And she just kind of like walks away. Looks like she's going over towards one of the guards that's standing next to the horses. Molfin, eventually, you see what looks like a simple outdoor shrine. Kind of seems like it's like almost like they were beginning to build an igloo, but they just left like one side of it completely open. Igloos out of stone block instead of they're not built out of ice, they're built out of stone block. You can see that there's a simple altar there. Doesn't seem to be anybody around though.
This is most disappointing. I was in need of conversing with someone. Sort of poke around, no door leading in, like into an inner chamber somewhere behind it or anything.
It doesn't seem to be anything like that. It just seems to be a simple open shrine.
Nobody out around near me? Random passerbys or anything?
Well, yeah, you see a couple dwarves like walking. It looks like they're got miner's picks kind of over their shoulder. Kind of look like they're heading towards the cliffs to head to work.
Molfin will yell out at the two of them, and or who's ever closest to him in common. You there, excuse me. Where can I find someone to discuss proper arrangements for a deceased?
Oh, aye, proper arrangements for the deceased. Are you dying?
No, we have. Someone has passed, and we
Are you dying? Oh my god.
we have need of proper ceremony for the remains.
Well, I guess Haran might know.
And where can I find this person?
Or, well, Haran might know. Maybe Darva might know.
Okay, where can I find that person?
Oh, Darva's easy to find. Look for the blue dragonborn, wielding the staff.
And where in the city should I start looking for him?
Oh, you mean her?
Her, him, it. The blue dragonborn.
Start heading that way. I think she lives over there somewhere. Just points towards the middle of town.
Insight check. That's a 5.
You think he's being honest with you?
Sally forth. Thank you.
Molfin begins to
Wandering off
trudge in that direction where he was pointed to. They just kind of like, you can hear them kind of whispering to each other as they're walking away from you, headed towards the cliffs. And we head back to Diana and Callista. You've seemed to have bonded well with the baby griffins, and the griffins seem like they've got a healthy meal. And the stench of this stuff inside this hovel is just kind of just filled your nostrils, and it's pretty rank. You guys have been in here for probably 30 to 45 minutes feeding your baby griffins. Diana's still with bags under her eyes from lack of sleep.
So tired.
Did you want to talk about those dreams, Diana?
First of all, I'm in the middle of burping my child. Let's got him on my shoulder. I'm patting him. I mean, I don't know. it's complicated and difficult to talk about. I mean, I don't know. You ever just have, something that's just, you really want to talk about it. You really want to say something and speak up and be like, this bothers me. But instead, you just bury it really, really deep within, and you don't deal with it at all. And it feels better that way for a long time. And you're just gonna keep doing that because that's how I feel. I'm just gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna keep burying it.
I'm gonna make a Constitution saving throw.
Why am I making a Constitution save?
Reasons.
Reasons.
Oh. Callista looks like she's gonna cry.
No.
Yeah, and the tears start to well up.
I'm. Yeah, no, I get it. You don't.
Diana broke the druid. LOL.
Diana's been breaking everybody. Oh my god! I nearly nat 20'd! Oh wow!
Well, we are going to find out what Callista says to Diana after the break. So
It's getting real.
it's getting real here on Proficiency Bonus tonight. My goodness.
Holy crap, Diana. Way to just, nail the hammer in,
Oh no!
So those of you who are tuning in, thank you guys so much for sticking around with us for tonight's episode of Storm King's Thunder. This is episode 26, and there's been a lot of interesting things happening already. As when we get back from our commercial break, Callista is going to open up a little, I think. And we might catch a little glimpse of what's going on, not only with a little bit of maybe Callista's history, but what's going on with her emotionally and a little bit of all those things. So everybody sit tight because you're not going to want to miss this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
God damn.
It's,
I'm ready for it.
it's great. I love episodes like this because I barely have to say a word. You guys just just go. It's like- so we're gonna go ahead and take a short break. So you guys stick around, and we will be right back with you right here at Proficiency Bonus. Thank you guys. We'll be right back.
I'm so distressed.
Five. Well, welcome back, everybody, to Proficiency Bonus. This is episode 26 of Storm King's Thunder. Where we last left off, Diana and Callista were in a pretty serious conversation within the hovel of Deshara, the trainer of these griffins and potential griffin riders. And it left off with tears welling up in Callista's eyes as Diana was starting to get the idea that perhaps something she said has really resonated with Callista. And I leave it to you.
Callista? Callista, what's wrong? You don't emote. What's wrong?
I can relate to what you're saying. I guess.
Understand what I'm saying? How is there? I mean, it's not any of my business, really, if you don't feel comfortable sharing it. But I mean, you know where I've been? Have you? I don't know, had
The world has never been my ally. Especially humans. And to a lesser extent, half-elves. That's why when I met you, I was taken aback with how open you always are. But you just seem like you've always been so confident in yourself. You love yourself, usually. So it's just hard to see you like this.
Oh wow. Diana's tearing up. Oh my god, Callista. Thank you. I don't know what to say. It's just everything that happened and has been happening. You know, I don't know. Maybe you'll relate to this too. I started this journey thinking that I would find myself and everything, and I have lost myself worse than I ever have before. And I don't know.
Yeah, I've just been running from myself, I guess.
I want to go home.
At least you have a home.
What do you mean? Why don't you have a home? What? Girl, I'll be your home. What?
I've never really had a home, at least not since my mother died, so when she died, I lost my home.
Callista, I am so sorry. I would like to hug her. If that's alright. Callista, can I hug you?
Callista's just crying now.
Oh my god! I'm gonna hug her. Oh my god. And just hugging her, I just want to hold her really close. I put down my griffin first, and then I hold her really close. I don't want to smush him. You will always have a home with me, with Ashlyn, here. There are people who care about you. And we got you.
That's where you're wrong. You and Ashlyn, you are family. That's your home. I don't belong there.
Does anyone belong anywhere when you think about it? I mean, I certainly never felt like I belonged growing up. with a bunch of stuck-up elves in their forest being half elven. None of us, I don't know.
But you have a mother that loves you. You have family that love you.
But I also think that I understand kind of not wholly. I know that I can never understand wholly where you're coming from, but in a way, I think that we as half elves have the unique privilege where we get to choose our family and our homes, since we don't really fit anywhere. And Callista, I choose you.
Why?
Because I don't know, because we're raising two very cute griffins together, and because you are strong and brave and so just wise beyond my years, beyond your years. I don't know. It's like yin and yang, like the sun and the moon. It fits in all of the ways that opposites connect. I don't know, it's weird, but yeah, I couldn't imagine life without you anymore.
Callista just lays her forehead on her shoulder.
Oh, hold her extra tight until she stops crying. Shut up, phone.
You guys begin to
She's just
hear.
gonna stay silent.
You guys begin to hear some shouting coming from outside. It sounds like
Oh no.
Dashara's voice, and you hear, "These boxes are not cleaned!
Oh no.
Ashlyn! Ashlyn!
What?
You were supposed to clean all the boxes!
Not just gizzards?
Not just gizzards! I said all the boxes!
But I'm not raising a griffin. That's right, I'm not raising a griffin.
My name's Gizzard.
Sarah's dog just earned a point of DM's inspiration.
Thank you, Tata.
So, yeah, you guys sharing this moment, hearing just Ashara just like laying into Ashlyn outside of her not doing what she was asked to do. Where is the other gnome?
What other gnome? There's only two of them. How could you lose one?
The one that was just here.
The old one? He's not here.
No, the younger one.
Oh yeah, he's dreamy. He's not here either. I don't know where he went. Where did he go?
I thought you would know.
No.
Wait, did you say he was dreamy?
I mean, creamy, like milking.
What? That's worse. That's 10 times worse.
Freezing!
Very milking. Creamy.
Lachlan's hearing all this from behind them.
Dreamy. No.
Lachlan, there's a tap on your shoulder. What are you doing? It's Kentucky. he was like doing his rounds, and he's like seeing you like.
I put my finger on his lips.
Oh right,
Gay.
right. Sure.
Making people clean droppings.
Oh yes, it's usually a standard first day activity of your training.
Yeah, I'm not a big guy.
Fair enough. I'll continue. He kind of just continues on, just kind of looking at you, giving you a thumbs up as he walks away. Molfin, you are wandering around Fireshear,
Am
which,
I out of the town yet?
and you're kind of just like roaming around. When you catch a glimpse of a blue dragonborn wearing robes and holding a what looks to be a golden staff, walking around, seems to have two other individuals walking with her. So your first guess is personal bodyguard. One of them is a dwarf, the other is a human. Her robes are adorned in white, light blue, and navy colors, and they all have this symbol that seems to resonate all around the robes of what looks to be it is simple triangles of silver that seem to be adorned all over.
I know I get disadvantage, but where I'm chasing her down. Oh nope, I don't know. Actually, 3 still gives me an 11.
You don't think the robes are religious in any sort of way?
Either way, I was told she's the one who handles it. So, oi there, madam. I would have words with you.
She kind of looks over towards you awkwardly as you call out this to this person. Who are you?
Oh, my apologies. I am Molfin Zodnig Admiranthos with Spindle Green East, at your service.
What is wrong with you? You look terrible.
It's been a long day. I need to speak with you about preparations for a deceased.
Oh yes, preparations for the deceased. What exactly are you meaning to ask?
Well, I have a cadaver that has been traveling with us since it died of natural causes, I believe the small person said, during our travel from Bryn Shanda down to here. We are seeking to properly deal with the remains.
Oh, fair enough. I can see that taken care of. It would cost you a little bit up front if...
What would the cost to have the, do you have locations for internment? You had mentioned having the, body buried.
Yeah, we... typically for arrangements of this nature, we simply use small wooden canoes that we send the wrapped bodies out into the trackless sea off the coast. See this? You see this ground? And she kind of pokes the staff down on the ground. I mean, this is good miner's ground, but it's not good burial ground, if you know what I mean.
I suppose I will say I do and leave it at that. What would the cost be to have one's relatives interned at sea?
She kind of looks over at one of the human guards and kind of nods, and the human guard looks to the dwarf guard, and they both kind of nod, and then they both kind of walk away. Just kind of putting some distance between her and your conversation. It's like, well, you know, arrangements such as this can be expensive. Up front, 50 gold up front, and we could work out the rest in the future would be a good way to start.
Okay. I will need to make my move. Where did I come from again? Where is the... I don't even know the woman's name. There is a location on the outskirts of town, I believe on the northeastern side, if I remember correctly, a griffin farm or
Ah, yes. Dashara. Dashara Keldabar is who you're meaning.
Yes, the people I'm traveling with and the one who I am making the inquiry for, as he was not quite prepared to make the inquiry himself at the at that location. Could you point me in that direction so I can bring them this information and hopefully arrange to set up the, whatever we shall call this arrangement with you?
She's like, sure. And she takes the staff and kind of points over to the, kind of the just points to the north. There's like a little hill, just right over that rise, and you will make your way back to Dashara's residence.
Thank you.
It was Molfin, right?
That is correct, yes. Molfin Zodnik Apparantus Wispintel Green East.
I won't call you Molfin. And she holds out her hand, and she's my name is Darva.
Darva, it is a pleasure.
I am one of the current members of the Triumvirate here in Fireshire. If you need anything else, seek me out first. I can help you. And she gives you a wink.
From what the townsfolk have said, it's not hard to spot a blue dragonborn, so we shall do so.
She kind of
With
just...
that, Molfin will just sort of turn his back and start... what time of day is it at this point?
It's probably kind of just before lunchtime. It's taken you quite a bit of time wandering around through Fireshire in your oddly terrible state that you're in from lack of sleep and terrible dreams that you've had.
On the way back up, Molfin is just keeping an eye on, the sides of the street he's going back on. Looking for any bucket of like a water catch basin or something like that. First one he sees, just gonna slam the head right up to the neck in the water and just wash himself off, and somebody's drinking water.
Yeah, when you slam your head down in this stuff, it is freezing cold. Like it's like sitting in a tub full of ice cubes, It's like you just when you pick that's what it is, ice bucket challenge. When you pick up your head, you're just like woohoo. It's like
more alert than I have all day.
And you also do notice that you catch a glimpse of what appears to be this. It almost seems like dust that's rising from the cliffs of Fireshire. You kind of catch a glimpse that most of the adult age individuals during the day, they are in the mines. Like pretty much this whole town is almost vacant except for a few people and wandering. Children are kind of roaming around, but most of them are kind of out playing on the frozen bay, ice fishing and just kind of just playing and having a good time. But all the adult age individuals are basically in those mines, and the mines are actively working and basically they're carved into the cliffside. And you get to catch a glimpse of you can see the other side of the cliffside from the bay from where you're standing. And you can see that there are these carved ramps that kind of go back and forth along the cliff where the mines open up into there. They've also got these pulley systems set up with these huge hempen ropes that have these wooden platforms on them, where as they're kind of mining this stuff out, they put them onto these platforms and they can easily raise them up and down the cliff sides, down to these large stone docks that are currently surrounded by ice right now. But it seems like they're taking everything that they're mining and kind of storing it away in these large storage containers down at the bottom of the shore, basically.
And on the way back, no stores or anything that Molfin's seeing on his way?
You don't see many stores. It almost seems like to you that this is the kind of place that when shipments come in, they are divvied up. not kind of like it's not something that is purchased, but per se someone's obviously in control about who gets what and divvies it up.
Chuck that little nugget back here.
Hmm.
Take a nice, very slow, leisurely stroll back, aiming to arrive back at Darash's. And even if this means, Molfin sitting down, taking breaks, he's shooting to come back right as the sun is starting to creep down.
Okay, so you're taking a
Just-
good long
Yeah,
stroll.
this is now like a 7-hour walk back.
Hands behind his back. As he walks.
I was like,
Excellent.
oh, look, a building. I would expect that. There's a nail.
Pouchois kind of like pokes at you every once in a while and is like, "Can we pick it up here, please?" And it's like, kind of flutters around around your head a couple times.
If you're bored with me, go back yourself.
Nice.
That's not a bad idea. Bourgeois starts, just, you know what? Go back there. Just wait for me with the others.
Pouchois gladly flies ahead as he's tired. Flutters away from you. Back at Deshara's, she has kind of reassembled the group after the cleaning and the teaching how to feed and all this kind of stuff. And now she's holding a saddle in her hands. And she's looking at Lachlan, Diana, Callista, and Ashlyn. Okay, so
I would say that Callista has quickly recomposed herself,
mhm.
and it's strangely quick how fast the tears and everything stopped, and she's back to like her stone cold face.
Fantastic. Diana, is that the same for you?
No, Diana is still crying.
Diana's still crying.
Ashlyn goes over and runs as fast as she can, like, over to Diana and wraps her arms around and goes, "It's okay, baby, I love you, I love you, I love you."
Deshara looks at you, Diana, and she's like, "Really, the saddle shouldn't be much to cry about. It's really not as difficult as it looks." And she's just awkwardly confused about just like looking around holding the
Callista
saddle.
purposely steps away from Diana and Ashlyn towards Deshara, like purposely giving herself space from them.
Okay.
Diana gonna do it? Is she gonna stop? No. Sure. I would like to turn. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Actually, since I don't know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna not snap on her. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna give her a look and business as usual. Thanks for bearing with me as I think aloud.
And Deshara kind of looks at Callista. Would you like me to show you how to
Let's do it.
to put this saddle on? Well, these are our griffins. Which one would you like to see if you can get the saddle on?
Didn't you have one in mind for me already?
Yeah, there's Malik over there. Malik.
Alright. Sure, let's try Malik.
Malik. Great griffin. One of the most playful griffins here. Here I will show you. It's really not that difficult. And she kind of approaches Malik and pets the feathers of Malik a little bit. Kind of slaps the straps of the saddle over top and kind of buckles them quickly and just really kind of makes it look super easy, Callista. And quickly unbuckles the straps and pulls it back off and just sets the saddle into your hands. It's really more about just having confidence in it. These creatures, they're not very smart, but they can sense things. They can sense your emotions and sense your feelings.
I think they're super smart and delightful.
As you're saying that, Gizzard is currently taking his beak and pulling feathers out of the right above his leg. and just like pulling them out, and then he moves his head back and forth, and the feathers are just like, and he watches them fall like this back and forth.
See, that's so magical. He's entertaining himself.
So,
Calista
Callista,
will just do everything she just showed me.
okay, go ahead and make an
Nat
animal
20.
hand. Oh, you're gonna use your nat 20? She saved it for
Yep.
this moment. Nat
Especially
20.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So,
Especially since she knows that her emotions are of utmost importance right now, she's steeling herself and using the nat 20.
all right. So, with ease, Callista is able to slap this saddle right onto Malik, like
Hold on one
even
second.
even faster than Deshara did it herself. And she is shocked by this. Just kind of looks at you, Callista. She's like, and actually, Callista, in the same span that you did that with your nat 20, you are already mounted on top of the saddle and just looking down at Deshara. And her jaw just like
Yeah.
almost hits the floor.
Callista's just like staring blankly, blinking a couple times, like, what?
What? It seems you were ready.
Sorry, what I missed? Sorry, what I missed?
Callista basically has the saddle on and she's already mounted on top of Malik. Diana, was there anyone in any one in particular that you were trying to make your mount? We've got Solana, we've got Devonay, we've got it looks like Ashlyn has kind of claimed Gizzard.
I'll do Solana.
Solana, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, Solana's a piece of cake. Solana, sometimes you just got to be careful because she just makes decisions on a whim, and sometimes it can get the rider into some trouble. So just
Reminds me of people. I don't know.
so just
Reminds me of myself.
just be careful, Diana. Just be careful. Did you see how I showed Callista how to saddle up the creature?
Yes. Yes, I did.
All right, go ahead and make
And
an animal handling check for me as you
I really need to,
approach.
take a nap. At some point, I need to take a nap.
It's a little. It seems like Solana wants to back away from you a bit as you approach, but you're able to go ahead and get the saddle on. You kind of strap it on. It takes you a couple times to kind of get the saddle on there snugly, but you get it all taken care of, and you're able to actually saddle up on the back of Solana. Lachlan, it seems that we have Quen, we have Devonay. The choice is yours.
Which one requires more of an expert touch?
Well, Quinn can kind of come in and out of moods, so probably Quinn. Devonay seems to be rather shy at first, but kind of seems like the most level-headed of the group.
I think I'll be able to handle Quinn's moods here.
Okay, go ahead and make your animal handling check as you
confidently try to just hoist the saddle on and
Oh, I was about to say get bit, but
Callista and Diana, as you guys are kind of perched on top of these saddles, like holding onto the reins of these creatures, you just see Lachlan chasing Quinn around in a circle with this saddle. And Quinn is just
I lean over to
like,
Diana
like,
and I'm like
trotting
karma.
around. Like when Lachlan gets close, Quinn just starts to like fly just the littlest bit, just ahead of him, and he just can't seem to. It's like you guys are just like talking to each other, and then all of a sudden he just appears behind you, like chasing.
Callisto, what did you say?
I said that's karma.
I lean back. I'm like, that's because he's short.
Ashlyn, go ahead and make your animal handling check for Gizzard.
Ooh, Gizzard
Um,
doesn't like me this time.
Yeah, Gizzard seems a little bit hesitant, and he starts to back up from you, and he runs towards the stables and disappears inside the stables.
I go after him.
Okay, you see him perched on top of his 2 rocks in the corner. And this makeshift nest that he's made from twigs and dead grass and things that he's just like scooped up and grabbed from different areas, tree branches.
Okay. I sit with him. I'm not gonna make him ride if he doesn't want to. I would just sit with him.
He's okay. You gotta sit down next to him, and as you sit down next to him, he stands up. He looks at you strangely, and then he starts to push with one of his beaks, one of his rocks, out of the stable, and walks back out like pushing a rock, comes back in, looks at you again, starts pushing the other rock out of the stable, and just leaves you sitting in the corner of the stable by yourself.
Okay. Well, that's fine for now. I'll get up and go back to the group and just be like,
And Lachlan, you're finally able to get the saddle on, and you've gotten to the point where you're on top of Quen. Quen's being real difficult right now, fluttering his wings to make it really hard for you to kind of strap the saddle down. And Diana and Callista are just sitting there impatiently waiting on you. And as you're doing so, you guys watch as Gizzard is just pushing these 2 stones around. And Deshara is just like, I thought today would be different. She just looks at Diana and Callista. It went a lot differently in my head.
Is that how the DM feels about?
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Eventually, Gizzard ends up putting the stones away, and Ashlyn is able to get Gizzard all saddled up. It takes about 30 minutes for you guys to get all situated. And Deshara has her what looks to be the leader of the pack, Screecher, that she had mentioned to you guys before. And she saddles up Screecher. She's like, okay, the takeoff is important. It can be kind of, just hold on tight, please. Now, I want everybody to listen very carefully. The griffins that you are on are trained, highly trained, to follow Screecher. Screecher is the alpha. They will follow him wherever he goes. So, really, all you need to do for this first ride is hold on tight. Don't let go of the reins. And make sure you stay seated in the saddle. And at that point, she just kind of cracks the reins of the saddle, and Screecher just takes off into the air. And at that point, you guys all start to lift off of the ground as these massive eagle wings start to spread out from beside you, and you can feel the as these creatures start to take flight into the air. And you have this epic moment of, wow.
No hands.
No hand. It's like being on the cloud castle again. Just a little bit more freedom here. And she takes you soaring basically over the whole town of Fireshear.
I'm sorry. Keep your arms inside the griffins at all times.
Wait, no, that's...
Wait, no.
Thank you, Digital.
That's awesome. Yes. Super awesome. So, as you guys are flying, you guys notice you can see down to Fireshear. You can see all these igloo-shaped stone buildings built close to one another. you can see the mines themselves built into the side of this cliffside. From your viewpoint, if you guys go ahead and make a survival check while you guys are up in the air. Everybody who's on a griffin.
I wish Gramps was here to see this.
Do I see the griffins flying in the air?
Go to make a perception check. You do, yes.
Seeing them take off, Molfin's gonna hide.
Okay, make a stealth check with disadvantage.
Ooh.
I think everybody's passive perception is higher than that.
Yep.
Yep. so as you guys are flying, Lachlan, you and Callista notice that the way this area is shaped is odd because the bay itself, it just all of a sudden just jets in rather rapidly. It's just a strange, awkward lay of the land. It almost looks like the parts of this area have just fallen away or something over the course of time, or all at once. You're not really sure. Maybe embarking in a little bit more of the history of the region might show you. But you guys can see that there's all these mines kind of built into this side, and all these children kind of playing on this icy. The bay itself is covered in ice, but once you get outside of the bay, where the water gets deeper. It seems to be just the ocean. And Nishara she seems to keep you guys aloft and tries to start to steer you away from town, it seems to be. But as you guys are starting to steer away from town, you can see down a small figure propped up like with his back up against a giant rock. And like icicles like sticking out from his beard.
Is that?
That's where we went.
I think that's Uncle Molfin.
That's Gramps?
Deshara yells back, that's where the other one went.
I want to take an arrow and chuck it toward him without trying to hit him.
You're just throwing it?
Yep.
Okay, make a dexterity attack with disadvantage.
Alrighty. I'm not proficient, I don't think, in throwing arrows.
I don't think you are either. Yeah, you wouldn't have your proficiency bonus. Yeah. So Molfin, an arrow falls about 20 feet away from you and just hits the ground. Kind of sounds like this. Me dropping a pencil on my table.
I would assume somebody was attempting to shoot an arrow at me, but...
Want me to try to kill him, Locke?
No.
Oh, okay.
Don't kill him.
Never
He's
mind.
too young to die.
Never mind.
Molfin's just gonna go, continue his little mosey.
Right. Deshara takes you guys around for quite a bit, and after your basically butts are starting to get tired from being on the saddle for so long, she brings you guys back to her stable area, and you guys land pretty comfortably. It doesn't seem as if the griffins themselves they kept a steady path and a steady pace behind Screecher the whole time, and it seemed pretty easy. There wasn't too much where you guys had to do anything other than hold on. Kind of this first ride, I believe, was just getting you comfortable with the creatures and them comfortable with you as their riders. And you guys, it's getting to the part where it's about dinner time, early evening, and you guys make your way, and Deshara kind of is getting off of her Screecher, kind of undoing the saddles and things like that, and kind of gestures over to the other two of the Zentrum guards that she has to kind of come over and kind of give her a hand. And she kind of looks at you all and says, "Well, I'll be preparing dinner soon, so if you'd like to all take a break, now is a good opportunity for you to do that." And it seems like the Zenturums come over and they kind of usher the griffins kind of away from you guys, and I kind of take the saddles off and get them ready to head
I'm
in.
glad I didn't fall.
That was terrible.
That was.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
Not one bit.
So you guys kind of have an opportunity right now to kind of take a short break, the four of you. Is there anything that you guys would want to do during this?
That was awesome, guys.
When the sun goes down, Callista's gonna lower her hood.
Okay. That'll be in a little bit. And as the sun does go down, and you guys are fed another simple meal. It doesn't seem like Dashara's most of her stuff are soups and stews and things that she's making over the fire in her hovel.
I believe we have stuff to discuss over dinner, Dashara.
Oh yes. Well, do you have time to go for a stroll?
Sure.
Okay. And she kind of
I nod at Diana to follow.
Alright, I get up reluctantly and I follow her.
I'm gonna follow, but I want to try to stealth.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check,
Yes,
Ashley.
Ashley.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
Yes, you are able to be super sneaky, Ashlyn. Lachlan, you've kind of got your meal, your stew.
A Griffin Knight needs his nutrition.
Yes. Nice. And
Right.
Molfin, how exactly are you approaching as nighttime has come across the area?
Literally just following the instructions that the Dragonborn gave me, because I've already forgotten her name.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You have no
It's,
problem. It was pretty easy being just like a tundra area. There's not really much to get lost with. You just
and
keep on walking
as
straight.
Cresting the hill,
Mm-hmm.
gonna circle from the way I remembered, or the way I'm picturing it from last time, is we came in sort of if looking straight at it, we came in sort of on the right in a slightly wooded area behind it.
Yeah, very slightly
And
wooded.
then, so Molfin, when he sees the building and recognizes it, is going to circle out that way,
Mm-hmm.
sort of purposefully just keeping distance from where he assumes everyone else is going to be over in the front area.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw for me. Okay. Molfin, you have this sense of something, and you kind of just you're able to shrug it off as you're kind of running your hands through your icicled beard.
Sense of something in my head, like my body.
It's hard to tell. You're not 100% sure.
Does it put me in any sort of mindset of last night?
There's a hint of it, but you're not really sure exactly where it's coming from.
Molfin's going to circle around as planned, and going to try to, as sneakily as possible, make his way up into the loft without alerting anyone to his presence.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for us, Molfin.
That's a 6.
Damn, Dana's
And we will see how that goes in just a moment. As Deshara is walking with Callista, and I guess Diana is following, or are you guys both kind of together with Deshara?
Both together with
left-
her, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
left that up to Diana on how she wanted to come
I'm
along.
gonna be walking next to them.
Right. Deshara kind of looks towards Diana as like, and I guess I was just kind of hoping that's just we could talk, but that's fine. She can come. So, Callista, I've noticed some things, and I've also noticed that you have some special abilities that could be of use. And Kentucky also told me that you were able to conjure up some vines this morning to cover up a hole in the ceiling.
That snitch.
Yeah, I'm very attuned to nature,
Well,
the natural order of things.
well, I must tell you that I am a retired captain. I used to be in charge of training in griffin riders and riders in Waterdeep.
Oh,
But now I'm currently a member of the Emerald Enclave. And right,
The who?
the Emerald Enclave.
Can we do a history?
Sure, you guys can.
I don't know what that is.
nope. neither do I.
Oh.
Ashley.
It tells them from the shadow.
All of a sudden, this voice speaks out of nowhere. Ashlyn, you kind of Diana and Callista, you're not really sure, but Ashlyn, you know that this is a group of individuals who have kind of come together on like terms. Basically, the Emerald Enclave usually is interested in protecting nature at all costs. They try to balance out some of the other factions when it comes to like the Lord's Alliance is all concerned about trade and cities and things like that. Sometimes they neglect the natural order of things. So the Emerald Enclave came around to kind of balance that out and to be a voice for nature and all this. So the Faerun Green Party. That's exactly right, MG. So you've got this group of usually druids, people that are just in tune with nature. I think there's a cleric that's a Circle of Nature cleric. There's particular individuals that this faction seeks to try to just kind of get their feelers out. They usually work independently, secretly, and
Jeez, sounds like Callista.
and usually they're always looking to kind of expand a little bit. And you have the sense, Callista, that Deshara, even though she's a member of this Emerald Enclave, she doesn't necessarily. You can tell that she's aged. She's older. Inside her red braided hair, that you can see that there are strips of gray that go through. As a dwarf, she's climbing up in years, and may not be as much of the adventurous type anymore. But she kind of looks at you. Well, the Emerald Enclave is a group of us like-minded individuals who care for the natural order of things. As a trainer of these griffins, I do have a respect and a love for just for the natural order of things. And right now, we've been hearing several rumors of rampaging giants, and it keeps on getting worse.
We've had our own run-in with the giants. And it's respectable what you do.
And
I can respect.
she kind of looks at Diana a little bit, and she says, I know I come off brash at times, but I don't know. I fear the worst is ahead of us. And as a captain of a military faction, I just sometimes feel like it's out of my control. I don't like that feeling.
Most don't.
So, Callista,
Yes.
this training that you're going through, we still have 2 more days, but by the 3rd day, you guys will be fully skilled at being able to use these mounts in any way you see fit.
Go on.
But I can offer this training for free. If you would be willing to join our quest. If you would be,
Fine.
well, I'm offering you an opportunity to work for the Emerald Enclave. In return, your training will be free, and your friends' training will be free.
Callista looks genuinely surprised.
Come to the dark side, Callista. Join a faction.
Oh my god, that's like the last thing she is.
She kind of looks at you strangely, and she kind of throws one of her braided locks like over her shoulder, and she's like, Callista, I have a sense that you've been alone for quite some time. You don't need to be that anymore. You can do great things for Faerun. You can do great things for the North. You can help us.
I'm assuming this Emerald Conclave has quite a bit of notoriety up here.
Yes, indeed. We have established members in most parts of the North. Sometimes you would never know who they were or where they came from or how long they've been.
And what exactly is quest you're asking me to join?
Well, right now it's simply figure out what the giants are doing and why. I know it sounds vague, but at this point that's all we know. The Lord's Alliance, the Zentrum, everybody has been working together to figure out what exactly is going on. The Lord's Alliance have already put down strike teams. They've been taken to the air to see if they can stop cloud giant attacks from the sky. The Zentrum have been sending spies all throughout every town to figure out exactly what the next move of the giants is going to be. Frost giants have been heard going crazy here in the Icewind Dale and the spine of the world. They seem to be in vast numbers traveling by longship. We don't know where they're coming from or why. They seem to just raid and plunder everything they can possibly get their hands on. Hill giants keep on raiding more areas down to the south, taking cattle and food from poor farmers. Fire giants roam the lands, digging massive pits and holes in the ground. We don't know what's going on, and we need your help.
Then I should be honest with you about something.
Sure.
The Zentrum.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
2 of them are on my kill list. So regardless if I join the Conclave or not, that will not change.
There's a
Hmm.
kill list?
Callista has a kill list.
Who are the two?
You don't know.
That's awesome. Ooh, I probably couldn't have.
Ashlyn, you're hearing this whole conversation from a nice viewpoint. They have no idea you're there. She kind of looks at you. She almost has a kind of a smirk on her face as you say that. And, yeah, there are some Zentrum that's... let's just say they don't necessarily follow by the rules all the time.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Sometimes as factions we don't always play nice, but as of right now we seem to all be united on the stance that whatever's happening with these giants, it's got to stop or everything will be laid to waste.
I can respect that.
Once this is taken care of, the the pettiness can continue between the factions.
Well, it's... If I run into them before then, I assure you, there will be blood.
And I cannot legally advocate for that, but I can also say that yeah, I'm not holding her back.
Well.
Also, on top of that, I've been in hiding for a long time. I don't want my name spread around anywhere.
Oh, well, that's one of the great things about the Emerald Enclave is, most of the time we do our business in secret anyway.
Well then, if you have no qualms with my stipulations, I am willing to work with you.
That's great news. She kind of smiles a little bit and looks over to Diana and just smiles at Diana as well.
I smile at her even though she doesn't know she's smiling.
Ashlyn smiles at everybody. And she says, "So, shall we make our way back to the hovel?"
If Callista has nothing more.
Yeah, for the moment, no.
Alright, I hurry back before them so they don't notice something.
Molfin, as you come to the top of the ladder in the loft, your head just kind of, you're not off of the ladder yet, and as you look from looking down on the ladder and look up, there's Sarvin's face like right there. It's like,
oh,
Molfin, where have you been?
I've been dealing with things. No. Move back in so I can come in here before the others.
Oh, absolutely, sure. Come on right in. He kind of helps you up.
Thank you. Is there a corner with like boxes, anything?
Oh yeah, there's a corner with some boxes and crates and things, yeah.
Molfin's just going to move a couple and just tell Sarvin, I was never here. And go and sort of hunker down behind the boxes. Just off in his own little world.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check with disadvantage. So, Molfin, you're trying to move these boxes, and they are like loaded with heavier materials than you thought they were. So you're trying to move them away, and you kind of like look at them, and you're like, "No, man, that's good." And you just kind of tuck yourself under there, and basically your hindquarters are just sticking out, like where everybody can see them. Yeah, And Sarvin's just kind of like watching as this is all taking place and just pondering what is going on in your mind. And the rest of the party ends up grouping back up into the upstairs of the loft as the night seems to get drawn out in the middle of the night a little bit more. The Zenturum kind of come and go on their shifts as they all take their stances. They seem to be just doing whatever they can to make you guys comfortable and kind of stay out of your way.
Good, honest people.
Yeah, they don't seem to be doing anything suspicious or anything. They're just moving about and doing their duties as the guards and the people that help watch over the stables. And you guys are all kind of joined back together. And you guys all notice Molfin trying to hide from everybody in the corner with all these
go right
boxes.
up to him.
It's over there.
With a cross like a hype man.
Then, what's going on with you?
But nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Uncle Molfin, you're acting weird. Even for you.
You've been acting weird since this morning.
Molfin, what's wrong?
Callista knows something.
Yeah.
Callista always knows when something ain't right.
Yeah, ain't it the freaking truth? Oh.
I thought.
Molfin just started looking. Just very peculiar dreams last evening.
Peculiar
Screaming,
dream.
agony. I couldn't see anyone. People crying out as if they were being maimed.
Did you have sleep paralysis again?
Nice.
You were not the only one to have dreams last night, Molfin, and I think this is strongly connected to the dagger. And
The dagger?
And as I was on my journey seeking to speak with someone about other things, I had a very peculiar sensation run across me. It was, I really don't know how to describe it. It was like a wave almost of energy across me.
do you still
Was
feel it?
Do I still feel it or no? It was just a one and gone, right?
It's just a one and gone. Yep.
Was it, Molfin, was it like you were being watched, or...
It was just an odd sensation. Not so much that I was being watched, but
I'm doing detect magic on him
Hmm.
to see if
pressure.
there's some sort of effect on him personally. Not the. I know the dagger's there, but I want to focus on him, his body.
Yeah, other than just the magical items kind of giving you that heavy sense of magic with your spell, him personally you don't sense anything from.
You know, if you guys are having trouble with this dagger, you could let me hold on to it for a while.
No.
And
Lachlan.
for
Not for a lot of people.
for Callista's vision, because I know the items give off a glow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What she is seeing is a pouch that's glowing.
Okay.
Because that dagger is in the pouch with the pixie dust. So there is no, like, when I looked at Lachlan, it's a dagger-shaped thing. That's it. No, this is a bag full of magic. And then that
Calista
healing
knows
potion
you're
I've
hot,
got.
knows you're hiding it on your person anyway for reasons, so she's not bothered by that. But, Molfin, can I ask you a favor?
You can certainly try.
Certainly make an attempt.
The next time
Famous DM word.
you feel that sensation, can you come to me immediately?
Of course, I had no way to this time, as
Of course, but
people were leagues in the air, but...
of course.
Oh, and by the way, did somebody have a little trouble and nearly fall off their griffin? I found this arrow on the ground.
Hey, didn't Lachlan oh no. No, he was great at riding.
I'm doing
a
this in front
griffin.
of Molfin.
Okay.
I spoke with
I
the...
am going to go to Dashara.
Okay. So you approach the door of her residence.
I'll just kind of knock and push it open.
You knock and push it open, and you can see that she's already kind of comfortably laying in bed. But kind of, perks up a little bit. Looks like she's exhausted. Just looks towards you and I'm sorry. Yes, Callista. Sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Ah.
This might be a strange question to ask, but you wouldn't happen to have any means of scrying or locating a person, would you?
No, I don't have that ability. Why? What is it that you need?
Zentrum issues. That's all. But if you don't, it's fine. I'm just looking for a means to locate someone. That's all.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
I'm going to insight check just to be sure.
Sure. You think she's being honest? I mean, her probably best bet of locating someone is just through word of mouth, basically based on where she is.
She was just hoping something in the chest could help her, but she doesn't know.
Yeah, you're not really sure.
Okay. I'll let her go back to bed and go back to the group.
Okay. So she kind of tucks herself back in as you're leaving, head on back to the loft area. Two of the Zentrum guards are sound asleep on the floor of the loft.
So are you guys joining the green thing?
What?
What? Oh, because that is
Green
secret.
thing? What is this green thing you're speaking of?
Ashlyn.
Green what?
I made a boo-boo.
Ashlyn, were you stalking us?
Locke does it all the time.
That does not make it right. It makes him very wrong, and we tell him he is all the time.
I
felt
like
left
Ashlyn.
out.
What? What? Sarvin chimes in. What, the green thing? What's a? Oh.
You're not green. It's okay.
Oh. What did I do? I know I'm not green.
Then don't worry about it.
Oh. Fine.
Have you signed us into servitude with a green dragon?
No. Oh my god.
I feel this is like that game Whisper Down the Lane where I say something and you end up with a green dragon.
No. Oh gosh. Okay. Can we pull Ashlyn aside, Callista?
Already ahead of you. I probably would have grabbed her by the arm and kind of given you a look and be like, "Let's."
Yeah.
Sarvin looks
Are
at the
they
gnomes.
trying to leave the area?
Are you guys trying to leave the loft or?
Yeah, just go down.
Okay.
Down the
Yeah,
ladder.
yeah, they're trying to go down the ladder.
I grease in front of the ladder. What is this green thing you are speaking of?
A tree.
My
There is a
You
slippery, nasty substance in front of the ladder on the end. As you guys are walking closer, you stop.
I levitate.
You stop. You levitate. Yeah, Ashlyn, you're able to stop before the grease just fine. Not a problem. You've seen this before.
Not
And
this time, old man.
Callista just levitates out of the opening, and you see her just like disappear down, just hovering.
How far down is the loft?
It's about 10. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Diana, go ahead and make a strength save for me.
Oh boy.
I didn't think this through when I did this.
So Diana, you slip and start sliding towards the opening, and you're able to reach out and grab a hold of the ladder. Unfortunately, the ladder is not technically attached to the side, and it starts to just go.
Can I try to grab her since I'm floating down?
Yes, go ahead and make a dexterity check for us.
Check.
Actually, that'd be probably strength because you're trying to like grab a hold of it.
Strength check.
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh.
Callista, you reach out your hands, and some of the grease had gotten on the top rung of the ladder, and it slips right out of your hands as it goes to slam down. Molfin, go ahead and roll a d6 for us.
Wait, did Ashlyn save her?
Ashlyn, you were still standing at the top. You stopped before the grease.
Okay.
So you take 5 bludgeoning damage, Diana, as you slam into the ground with a ladder on top of you. And
I go to Molfin and I hit him with my quarterstaff. No, my martial arts.
What?
So Ashlyn starts to try to punch you, and you put up your magical shield. Sarvin's like, whoa, what is going on? Whoa, my goodness. Things have gotten out of hand quickly.
I was merely attempting to stop them from fleeing. It's not my fault he threw herself out the door.
Lachlan the Legendary, please make them stop.
Oh my god.
Sarvin, you and I are the sensible ones.
Can
I'm merely seeking information on this green thing that they apparently have signed us up for.
I didn't say anything. I said green ring. You know, like green rings.
Green rings? You mean jade rings?
Yes, we all like jade rings.
I love jade rings.
I love jade rings too. They are very, very pretty.
You know, when I snuck up on that white dragon's horde, just 10 feet away from this sleeping beast, I was able to pick up a couple jade rings along with those coins that I found.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
We all like jade rings.
You believe that Molfin?
I would like to stand up the ladder.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Wolf.
Ashlyn, if you do not learn to speak succinctly...
What does that mean?
When you go down in the water.
Use clear, concise words. Because of your failure to communicate properly, I am probably going to get yelled at. Potentially physically assaulted in the moment.
Definitely.
And you know what? I will see you all in the morning. Molfin goes to the far end of the loft.
No.
And is holding an action for if anyone takes a step in his direction.
Okay.
Can you do that as you
Callista's
please?
levitating like just over where the ladder would be, and she's just staring at Molfin like, was that necessary?
Sarvin's like, oh, I wish I had wings.
Can
Put my arm around Sarvin and nod.
I was certain that Ashlyn said you signed us up to join a green thing.
I didn't
No,
sign
I
any
like
of you up
rings.
for anything.
Rings
So,
like jade.
and when we attempted to ask about it, you and Diana sought to flee the scene. I assumed putting grease down would stop you from leaving. You levitated out. Diana jumped out the window.
I did not jump out.
You-
Can I please stand up my ladder now and
Yeah.
climb back
Yeah,
up?
you climb back up. The grease is still there.
I would like to put my head over where the grease is, find Molfin in the room, and make eye contact and
You-
let him know I'm gonna kill him when I get through with this.
You made it.
You both are under a lot of stress right now. Can we just take a break?
Yes.
Sarvin's like, I think that might be a good idea. It's getting a little too exciting here. Don't you think, Lachlan?
It's never too exciting. We're heroes.
Molfin.
Who are you to throw discord in your party? You call yourself the legendary?
What did I do? I'm the peacemaker here.
Oh my god.
Kind of what I do. The stable one, the honest one.
As tensions seem to rise between the group. It's getting late. So you woke up the two Zentarum guards. They were kind of like looking at you through half squinted eyes as this was going on. And they
Hey.
kind of, will you keep it down? And they lay back down and
Wait, before you lay back down, how much do you make for a day?
Holy.
that seems kind of like an upfront question.
I may have need of your services overnight. I have been threatened with death.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I
Molfin,
am
go to
fearful.
the tiny hut and sulk.
He is not. He is not threatened with death, and whatever he tries to pay you, I will double it if you
He-
leave him alone.
He just looks at you. He's like, listen, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I've been working my tail off the last day and a half to make you comfortable. It's time I took some rest. And he just takes his blanket and pulls it back over, kind of almost halfway over his head as he's turns away from you, Molfin.
Just go in your tiny hut.
Molfin, I promise I will not kill you. I just want to get upstairs and go to bed.
I suppose I can do away with the grease. I know one way to. And you watch as Molfin's hand lights up with flame.
No! No! No!
Mine lights up with flames.
No!
Okay, it's the only way I know to remove the grease.
Does
You
it?
want to set this place on fire?
I'm gonna go look for a bucket.
Why are we such catatonic people?
How long does this thing last? It doesn't say. Oh, it only lasts a
Doesn't go
minute.
away.
10 minutes.
It says duration 1 minute.
That's
Oh,
10
get it.
rounds.
Yeah. So basically,
Okay.
by about all this communication, it starts to fade.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's nice.
Ooh, that was a
I
close
was gonna
one.
say, like, I climb up the stairs and it will hold back and practice some of that ill-mater forgiveness that I was trained for. He's been testing me today.
He has been testing you. The Molfin way.
Oh, wait.
All right. So you guys are all kind of getting
Callista
settled for the
Goes
evening.
back down and doesn't stay at the loft.
Okay. Where are you going to be staying, Callista?
Outside.
Finding a comfortable place outside? It's frigid cold outside.
That's fine. I'll start my own fire and just give myself space from everyone.
'Kay.
She's had her own rough day.
Mm-hmm. She has. Lots of things have happened. So you guys kind of get comfortable for the evening. And I need for Molfin and Diana to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay, but I kind of had a thing to do in the middle of the night that I was wondering if DM would let me do. I don't know if we're. Should I still make this save?
Let's make this roll first.
Okay.
We'll see if you have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I at disadvantage? No, that's just a save.
Yeah. And this one was a little bit of a harder DC than the first one. Diana, you get up in the middle of the night, determined to do what you had messaged me earlier. But
No.
as you are getting yourself standing up situated, you notice that Molfin is making his way down the ladder.
I cast Fairy Fire on him?
Okay.
I don't know why. No, wait. Or maybe I don't do that. I don't know. Oh gosh, this is so much happening. You know what? My first instinct was Fairy Fire. Let's just go with Fairy Fire, because I want to see who this is.
Okay.
And I don't know, gain advantage?
Okay. So you're casting Fairy Fire on Molfin?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's...
I think that's some kind of save for you, Molfin.
Yeah, what's the save on that? Is it Dex?
Dex.
Is it Dex?
I think
Yeah.
it is.
Go ahead and make a Dex save. Yeah, you.
Oh, he passed.
So Molfin is not glowing with your radiance from your fairy fire, and he continues to move his way. He kind of disappears down the ladder.
Oh crap! I run and I follow him.
Okay, you're gonna follow him. Okay.
Yeah.
Molfin, you are seeing everything, but you don't feel as if you have control over yourself. Lachlan and Ashlyn, go ahead and make perception checks for me, please.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Ashlyn and Lachlan, you guys are both still asleep as this is happening. Diana, would you be waking them up or would you leave them there?
Oh.
As she's thinking about this, Callista, go ahead and make a perception check as well.
She would leave them.
She would leave them? Okay.
Yes.
Mine will
Would
be.
I be trancing awake or asleep?
Oh.
Goodness.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You can wake me up. Right outside.
Callista has fallen asleep from such a busy day too, and Molfin, you are able to get out of the loft, and you can see everything that's happening, but like I said, you don't really have control of yourself right now. It's almost as if somebody else is basically. It's almost like you're kind of like a sleepwalker right now, but you're seeing things as they transpire. And you're starting to walk yourself kind of behind around the griffin pen, and you just start to walk with a steady walk to the north, just along the tundra.
Ooh. Can I react?
Yeah, what would you like to do?
I shout at Molfin and I'm like, Molfin, stop.
No response.
Can I
He
catch
continues
up to
to
him?
walk. Sure.
Okay, I want to catch up to him and like grab him by the shoulders and turn him around.
Okay, as you catch up to him and you put your hands on his shoulder, you notice ahead of you, probably about 100 feet ahead of you, out of the midst of nowhere, almost, there is this old stone-looking, what looks like imagine a house that used to have a chimney, but the house is not there anymore. It's just a chimney in the middle of this tundra.
Some Voldemort stuff.
And it's creepy because it's dark and the moonlight is just casting these weird shadows on the place. And just ahead of you about 100 feet, and it looks like Molfin is headed straight for it.
I shake Molfin. And I'm yelling at him. I'm like, Molfin, give me the dagger. Give me the dagger.
Go ahead and make a, I don't know what this would be. You're shaking Molfin. A shaking Molfin check. Go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead and roll a straight d20.
Oh, I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay, sure.
Do I have any? Okay.
Yeah. So a 6, and go ahead and roll another one.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah, you're shaking him quite violently now as you see this ahead, but it's almost like he's in such a weird state. Like it doesn't look like he's control of him. You can tell something is wrong. He's not in his right mind. You don't even know if he's awake, but his eyes are open. He's looking right at this thing and he's walking towards it.
I start screaming like at the top of my lungs for anybody to wake up and like hear me yelling. Are we that far away from camp?
Lachlan, Callista, and Ashlyn, you all hear screaming coming from about 50 to 100 feet behind the Griffin pen.
I immediately, hearing Diana, Callista doesn't even hesitate.
Okay.
I'll go too.
I roll over.
Oh my god. I'm gonna say that I'm trancing, so I hear it. So I'm gonna run over.
Okay. As you guys are headed towards, you start to get closer, Diana. You can see Molfin is continuing to walk, even despite you trying to hold him back. He's continuing on, and with a lot of like surprising strength as he continues to walk. And as you get closer, you notice something. Inside the part that's open from the chimney, you see a silhouette of some figure standing in the middle of the chimney.
Oh no.
And the silhouette reminds you of someone.
Oh no. No.
It reminds you of Moby.
What?
Standing in the midst of this chimney.
What?
Wait, what?
Plot twist of the century.
You all thought it was someone else.
Foreshadowed it, and then you didn't do it. And then we're gonna have, oh my god. Okay, seeing that it's Moby, I kind of relax, and I don't know, I let him go.
Do I catch up?
Yeah, you guys finally catch up just as Diana's letting Molfin go. Molfin's only about 50 feet away from this chimney.
I don't know what's going on, but I immediately go for the dagger. The pouch.
I don't know who Moby is, so.
Okay. You're going to have to make a contested check on this one.
That's
okay.
Fine. Hold on.
Molfin, you can make, this is going to be athletics versus athletics. Basically, she's trying to take it and pry it from you.
Okay, am I using Molfin's stats, or is this just... Molfin doesn't seem to be home right now, so...
Molfin
yes.
Or who?
Use Molfin's stats for right now.
Okay. So Molfin's not home means I have access to none of my abilities.
What's that?
If Molfin's not home, it means I can't use Portent, right?
No, not for this. What's your athletics bonus?
0.
0?
Oh my.
If I bother typing, just let me find it in here.
Oh my god. Yes! Callista, this is what happens.
Okay.
Molfin, you regain consciousness. Callista, You are no longer in control of yourself.
That's fine. I had a feeling, but yep. That's
So
what
you
I
said
wanted.
you said Molfin saw the entire thing, right?
Well, yes, you were able to see what's happening, but you weren't able to respond. So basically, what has happened now is... It's okay.
Immediately grab her around the face, and I'm burning my portent. She fails
Okay.
a roll.
Okay, so
She
you
rolls
have,
a 9.
so you have gripped Callista, and as you're doing this, you hear Moby calling to you, Molfin.
What if it's a dagger and it's Moby? Then what's happening?
Moby, is that you?
Molfin, it's me. Come on, we can figure this out.
Molfin's looking at Diana. Diana, do you have the ability to check and see if it's really him or if it's something dark?
I cannot detect evil, but I know what I can do, and I'm gonna channel divinity, and I think it's the one that lets me cast out like darkness or whatever, or darkness takes damage. If Moby takes damage from this, then it's not him. Hang on, let me channel divinity, radiance of the dawn. I can channel divinity and harness sunlight, banishing darkness, and any hostile creature within 30 feet must make a constitution saving throw. So if Moby takes any damage, we will know that it is not in fact Moby, I think, in theory.
Yeah. So you guys see Diana start to pray, kind of holding her hands together, and this light emerges from her towards this broken chimney where this silhouette of Moby kind of stands in the midst of. And it almost seems like the light just kind of shines through, cascades over the landscape, dissipates, and the chimney still stands with Moby's silhouette in the middle.
I don't know. The dagger is tied to this, but that looks and sounds like Moby, but it didn't take any radiant damage. I think
so it's safe to assume it's not undead.
It's definitely not undead. It's definitely not, for right now, hostile to us. But to say that it's Moby, I can't guarantee.
Oh, Molfin, always like you overthinking things. Really?
Ask him a question only Moby would know.
No, don't. Because
DM doesn't.
Because I'm not JJ.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Text him really fast.
Hey JJ, we know you're busy, but we need to answer the question or you'd know.
Yeah, JJ, I got some issues here, buddy. No.
Ooh, ask him something about yourself that only Moby would know, and that way, if it's the real Moby, he'll know you, but he won't if he's fake.
I got it.
Moby,
what do we have in the bag of holding?
I've been gone from you guys for a while. How do I know what you've added to that tote bag of goodness?
Moby, recite your entire name.
Oh, God damn it, I gotta pull it up.
You people. I don't even know if I can pronounce it.
Anything.
Would Evil Moby not know that I'm there? Or know that I'm not there? Would that be a thing?
Oh yeah, where's Lachlan? Moby.
State your name.
Molfin always doing things like this. It's Moby, Jez, Arkson, Zedbert, Glitzbit, the Torque Grill, Spangled Fidget. You know it's me.
Pull the dagger and give it to him.
What?
You're giving him the dagger?
I-
You're handing the dagger to him?
I would like.
It's okay. Mage hand, pull it out of Callista's possession. And
Okay.
the mage hand is holding it. Is
Do
Callista
I-
herself?
Do I strength check?
Yeah, Callista becomes herself.
And no one is touching the dagger.
It's
So no
floating
one-
in the spectral hand 5
So
feet
no
in
one-
front of me. Callista, this appears to be Moby.
How can you be sure?
He knows his full name, and that is something that the other one seeking this would not know.
Unless Zulkin has access to your memories through that dagger.
I haven't attuned to it. Ashlyn is brand new and hasn't attuned to it.
There is no way this is going into your possession, Diana. It's too risky.
What about
I'm not
me? I'll
asking
take
for it. I'm saying it's beneficial that I am not attuned to it or that Ashlyn is not attuned to it. Zulkin has no way of knowing a question about Ashlyn if. Oh wait, but Moby didn't know Ashlyn either. Okay, so Zulkin doesn't know everything about me that Moby does.
You're attuned with that stone, Diana.
Your
That's
name
not-
is on the dagger.
Okay,
Too bad the
so
true
we are
wielder
all
isn't here.
screwed here, and we have no idea who that is.
Diana, it's me, Moby.
Why do you want the dagger, Moby?
I don't want the dagger. I want to help you. Come with me.
Help us.
Okay. Wait, what?
No.
Where are we going?
I hold her back. I put my
Molfin is
hand up.
slowly walking towards him.
I'm inciting this Moby.
Okay. Sorry. You are. It's hard to tell because you're just seeing a silhouette of Moby. But you have the sense that he does want to help.
But do I have a sense that it's really Moby?
You're not 100% certain.
Oh wow.
Diana,
Oh, no, I shouldn't have
it seems legit Moby to you. He knows your name. He's calling out to you. Ashlyn's all good with this. Ashlyn, you never met Moby before, so you're willing to
No,
take
I'm
his
like,
word
hey,
for it.
it's
Molfin has
Moby,
just
I've heard
slowly
so
been
much about
walking
you.
forward.
Molfin,
How
can
far
you-
am I from...
You're 10 feet away from this
Okay.
freestanding chimney.
Can we put
And
the
as
dagger in the bag?
as you got closer, the silhouette is backdropped by this greenish, very light greenish haze of a glow behind the.
Oh,
silhouette.
that is Zulkin all over it.
Can you like cast light or something?
We don't have the bag of holding with us
Why not?
Being hugged by another gnome right now.
because the gnome has it who nobody woke up. Molfin with the dagger in the mage hand.
But you
is
hear
gonna put
you
it-
all of a sudden hear Moby say, "Molfin, go get Lachlan. He's probably still asleep. You know, when I left you, don't you remember me telling you to keep an eye on him?" Bring him too. He's probably going to want to see this.
What's the last thing you told me, Moby?
DM don't know.
I don't know. What's the last thing that you told Moby? Told Callista, Moby. Hmm? JJ, where are you?
That'll be 10 minutes. And trust me, I'll be gone 10 minutes, trust me.
Oh, yeah, that's it. 10 minutes.
Callista didn't say that, but yes.
Yes. 10 minutes. Trust me.
It's been a
You
long
can-
10 minutes.
It's been a long 10 minutes. We're gonna kick your ass.
he kind of
Molfin
looks. He looks towards you, Callista, and he's like, "It's only been 10 minutes for me." Come on, trust me.
Molfin tells Ashlyn to go get Lachlan.
Go get Lachlan.
All right, Ashlyn shrugs off quickly.
And quickly, Molfin moves the dagger about 15 feet away from where he's standing, closer towards Callista and Diana, but up in the air.
Okay.
Sends Poochwa to grab it. And as soon as Poochwa and the dagger are out of range of this Moby, casts Tiny Hut, pinning everyone else from entering. It's just
Molfin and Moby in this
Moby in
thing.
here at the moment.
Oh, goodness.
No.
So you guys watch as Poochwa has the dagger like high above your head, kind of like fluttering around with it wrapped around its tail. And now all of a sudden Molfin is in this dome, just face to face with this silhouetted Moby.
Did not realize I have no way of canceling this.
For 8 hours.
You can if you leave. No,
Oh,
you
that's
can
Yeah,
leave.
That's
If
you can.
point if
it's
I walk
dispelled.
out of it.
If you leave, it's dispelled. Yep.
Lock, wake up. Lock, wake up. Lock. You're really good looking.
Griffin
Lock. You're really ridiculously good looking.
Hey.
Hey, I mean, how you doing? So, we found Moby.
Oh, nice.
You should come with us.
Tell him I said hi.
Lock. I kick him with my foot.
Push him out. Push him out the window.
Lock. Come on. It's Moby.
No, really though.
No,
Really?
really though. It's Moby. Come on.
How'd you guys find him already?
He found us. Come on. Bring the bag of holding, I think. I don't really know. Maybe. Take it with us.
Okay.
And I run.
Okay.
Like buckling my armor as I try to follow along.
Buckling your armor as you're trudging along. Molfin, you are inside this dome right now. The rest of your party outside.
Why was the dagger drawing me here? Why did I not have control of my own body? Why did Callista face the same thing when she pulled it from me?
Always asking so many questions. Molfin, you gotta trust me. Molfin, just take a few steps forward and I will help you answer your questions. The silhouette holds out its hand.
Aww.
No. Oh,
You-
no.
It grabs you, Molfin, and you take a few steps forward, and you guys can see a little bit through the dome. Molfin disappears. And then the dome dissipates. And
grabbed it.
Lachlan and Ashlyn finally catch up.
Hey, where's Moby?
Moby is still standing there in the midst of that. He didn't disappear. Just Molfin did.
Oh.
Moby!
You didn't think I was just going to take him. Diana, Callista, Lachlan, who's that?
Hi, I'm Ashlyn.
Huh.
Can I come?
Great.
Of course, Ashlyn. Any friend of the group is a friend of mine. What are you guys waiting for?
I don't know.
What do
We
you
took
mean?
Uncle Molfin.
Uncle Molfin is fine. Uncle Molfin? Oh, whatever. He's fine.
Where is he?
Where is Grams? Yeah.
Oh, he's just He's just in another plane of existence right now. He's waiting for you.
Is he with the extraplanar entities?
No, yeah. He like Zephyros told us. Extraplanar entities. That's it. Yeah.
Oh no.
I was in the middle of
Okay.
typing that when you guys
You
started
did
talking.
it at the same time. That's amazing.
Come on,
Very nice.
Lachlan. Come on. What are you waiting for? He holds out his hands towards you.
I walk right up to him and
Pulls. You guys watch as Lachlan disappears. Gone.
He has
The
no
spell
idea
doesn't
what he's
specify, so I'm assuming Putwa is still just flying around up in the air with the dagger held.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
Oh my god. I want to know what's going on, so I'm doing detect magic. I want to know what type of magic's going on here.
I can't really remember what type of aura this would be, but it's it feels like to you, Callista, that there are certain places in the world that are kind of attuned to other planes. This seems to be some type of portal. But you are not 100% sure that this chimney is actually something that's really physically standing here.
Is it a familiar
like-
feeling in terms of when I went in the dagger?
You know, a little bit. This feeling is different. I mean, I mean, it's not like when you were trying to attune to the dagger, it was almost like you were being, like pulled unwillingly. This seems like this is something different. You're not being forced by any means, but it appears you have a figure that's just kind of saying that he wants to help and he wants to draw you in.
Well, if Uncle Molfin went,
Ashlyn, you never attuned to the dagger, did you?
no.
So, a question posed to just my party. If someone who's never attuned to the dagger, like you, Molfin, or Lachlan, would they be hypnotized in the same manner? Or would it have no effect? And in that way, maybe we would know? I don't know.
I'll try. I'll try. Holding
Don't
it.
attune to it. No, don't attune to it though.
No, don't attune to it, just hold it and
Okay.
see.
I'll try to jump up and grab Poochwa.
Yeah, I can't help.
He's flying above everyone's heads for
Is
a
he?
reason.
Is he 100 feet in the air? So Ashlyn is trying to jump up, and this. I mean, he's 100 feet in the air, Ashlyn.
Wow.
Magical daggers.
How far can you levitate?
Yeah. I'll try to levitate, but I don't want to grab the dagger. I want to grab Poochwa.
Okay. Yeah, you levitate. I think you had like 20 feet a turn. I think that's the way it works, Molfin.
Yeah.
Molfin. Okay. So she just kind of continues to levitate up to Poochwa. I guess Poochwa's directions were just to kind of fly up into a circle up there, right?
Basically, just hold the dagger and keep it up. Keep it up in the air.
Okay. So go ahead and make let's make a contested strength check against Poochwa as Callista reaches out and tries to grab Poochwa. Yes, Callista, you have the flying snake in your possession with the dagger, but you're grabbing the snake with the dagger.
Yeah.
So you're not actually physically touching the dagger, and nothing seems to happen to you like it did before.
Yeah. I'm gonna go down.
Okay. So you levitate slowly back to the ground. Your feet hit the cold, icy tundra.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
Ashlyn, come on in. Lachlan and Molfin are waiting on the other side. Uncle Molfin is here.
I do love Uncle Molfin, but I'm not going anywhere without Diana and Callista.
We'll tell them to come on.
Oh, good job. Does she feel anything now that she's holding the dagger? Has she held the dagger yet?
I don't know if Callista's giving you the dagger.
Callista hasn't
No, I'm
given.
still holding it.
Please give her the dagger. We need to experiment and see. Is it an attunement thing or what?
I
Ashlyn's like, I guess.
She's gonna have to pull it out of Poochwa's mouth.
I'll take the dagger.
sure.
Okay, go ahead and try to yank the dagger away from Poochwa with an athletics contested check. So that's pretty good,
No,
Ashlyn.
you think
Yeah. So Ashlyn, you pop the dagger and immediately you lose control of yourself. And you start walking towards Moby's figure.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the
Grabbing
Molfin.
Ashlyn.
Okay,
Yeah.
you grab her.
I knew by
She's
the collar.
starting to like drag you guys with her as she
But
gets
I wanna
closer.
Go see Uncle Molfin, and Moby seems so nice.
Can I take my normal dagger and like knock it out of her hands onto the ground?
You can try. Go ahead and make like a an attack.
Okay, how do I do that?
You should have dagger on there as if you're just trying to hit with the dagger.
Oh yeah.
Just go ahead and make a dagger attack, and we'll just call it that.
That's an 8.
You try to, but Ashlyn's got a good grip on this thing, and it's just like you kind of like hit her hand, and she just doesn't even notice it. She doesn't even feel it.
Callista, I'm sorry. Please help.
We'll attempt the same thing. Nope.
you guys are like hitting the butt end of your dagger on her hand and wrist area as she's holding this dagger, just walking forward.
This time, if I can.
She pulls out the mace and starts wailing on Ashlyn. You hit it and knock it free from Ashlyn's hand. Ashlyn, you kind of shake your head and you kind of regain control of your body. You're only like about 5 feet away from Moby standing in front of you.
What's that about, Moby?
Something must be with the dagger drawing it closer. I mean, I'm just trying to help you.
Help us with what?
Help you to understand a little bit more.
More of what? You're not
Does he
completing
know
your
why the
sentences.
dagger?
I may be able to give you clues. I don't know it.
To what?
I don't know everything, but I know some. Come.
Some of what? See, you're not completing your sentences.
You guys are more stubborn than Molfin. My goodness.
Very
My-
damaged women.
With
Molly,
the
you
instructions
know
I
why.
gave Poochwa, would he be trying to grab the dagger again?
I think Callista still has a hold of Poochwa, right? So yeah,
No, 'cause I grabbed Ashlyn.
Oh, you grabbed at Ashlyn? Yeah, Poochwa starts to
Yeah.
Poochwa actually picks the dagger off the ground. And then
Well, that's probably for the best.
and then flies towards Moby and disappears.
Oh.
No.
I'm racing after that dagger. I'm
Callista
racing after the dagger.
disappears.
Oh, screw it. Fine. I take
I
Ashlyn's hand.
can't let the dagger go.
Diana drags Ashlyn to Moby and poof! And then as you guys are just like, you see darkness and this flash of green light for just a second, and you hear Moby's voice saying, "Oh, finally! It's about time."
A lot's happened. We've become very damaged.
Molfin,
I don't know you.
you appear in what seems to be a forest. The trees look rather withered, though. The landscape, very dark and gray, seems absent of color. And then all of a sudden, Lachlan appears next to you.
Hey, Grams.
What are you doing here?
Moby. I touched Moby, and here I am.
It certainly seems like him. Enigmatic and nonsensical as always.
Is he anywhere around here?
I just appeared.
A little in front of you, you guys notice that out of the forest, you can almost see it open up into a trail or a path ahead of you. You can tell it's a dirt trail, but like I said, the land is just gray. There's not a whole lot of color in this area. And then all of a sudden, Puchwa appears right next to you with the dagger wrapped around his tail as he flutters and lands on your shoulder,
Why
Molfin.
does Poochwa have the dagger?
Take the dagger from him.
Nothing happens. It's in your possession.
Back tucked away.
It's tucked away. Then all of a sudden, Callista, Diana, Ashlyn appear next to you.
As
Hey, girl.
as that's going on,
Hey.
Molfin's looking. My pouch.
Do you have the dagger?
Did you take my pouch?
Of course I did.
Give me my pouch back.
Do you have the dagger?
Yes, it is secure.
Show me. I had in the pouch.
And it's half a second back in.
All right. And at that...
Diana notice?
Hmm?
Did Diana notice?
Make a perception check, Diana. Molfin, was that the real one or was that the one that you had made? Because if it was the one you had made, you can make a deception check. If it was the real one, you don't have to roll.
Diana knows.
I know where the dagger is.
That's, you know where the fake one that I just pulled out and waved for a second is.
You.
I want to insight check Molfin to see that he's still not under control.
Go ahead. And as you're doing that, Callista, you guys all start to hear the clopping noises of hooves coming from the distance of the trail. And you can hear what seems to be wooden cart wheels following behind. And Callista, you don't believe that Molfin is under control of the dagger right now. It doesn't look like it's not the same as it was before when he was walking by himself. And as this horse-drawn carriage starts to approach a little bit off the side, that is where we are going to stop our episode for this evening. Because it's already 45 minutes over time, and I was trying so hard to get you guys to just do stuff, and it was like 45 minutes. Just
You did this, Michael. You
Go
did this.
go to Moby. Go to him.
I don't know why you thought it would be easy. Our characters are wicked.
If Diana hadn't been there, Moby would have Molfin would have walked to Moby, spell or not.
No, yeah.
With Diana, everyone, it's like, yeah, man, I don't know now.
So, and just to let our viewers know what is going on here, next week we will not have a Storm King's Thunder episode. I will be out of town next weekend, but Matthew will be running a one-shot in the place of Storm King's Thunder next week. So we will be missing Christy as well. She'll be out of town next week. Sarah is playing the one-shot. Is that correct? Okay, so Sarah's in. Zoss, are you in for the one-shot as well?
I'm not sure. I have to check my schedule because I don't know when I work. But
Okay, gotcha.
I'll try.
All right. But the following week, we may have a visit from JJ.
Oh, that's what this was.
So we will see. We're going to try to get his schedule under control, but I think for as of right now, we think that he might be able to join us for episode 27. So, yeah. So we'll see how that goes and how the party handles this current situation that they're in. I want to thank all of our viewers for tonight. Thank our new followers who jumped on board as well. And if anybody wants to chime in, players, for the next time that we all join together, who should we give a natural 20 to out of the group for tonight's extensive
Diana
role
was
play?
incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It was like a team effort.
Callista's backstory was
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
whole little
And I
scene
just-
with them too.
Yeah.
I wanted to cry.
I
for
cried.
her.
I cried.
There were some real misty eyes.
that was intense. So
That was too much.
let's go ahead and we're going to give out 2 nat 20s. We'll give one to Callista and one to Diana for next episode. So I'm putting those up in the corners.
Yay!
No, thank you,
Hey.
God. Oh, my heart.
And then Diana nearly triggering the TPK.
Wait, how am I gonna trigger the TPK? What did I do?
You threw yourself out the window.
I was pushed.
Freaks.
And an old man. All I wanted was to steal the dagger.
Now when
Yeah.
you go to steal it, you'll steal a lovely fake.
So the rest of you will have DM's inspiration for next time for such a great role play tonight, great interaction between characters. It was awesome. So next time that we're together, we will see where our adventure takes us. As
And where our adventure is.
where our adventure is. That's right. It's intriguing. I love it. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. Thank you, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, and Nightshade Creations. Thank you to all our wonderful cast for being willing to stick it out with us tonight and spend a little bit of time overtime. So thank you guys so much. If you're watching this on Twitch and you haven't followed us yet, make sure you hit the follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can check out all of our episodes. As far as I know, we'll have a Tomb of Annihilation on Monday night. As of right
That's
now,
the plan.
that's the plan. So we will
As
be,
long as everyone shows up.
as long as we can get everyone there. So we'll make sure that everybody can get on to Tomb of Annihilation on Monday nights. So without further ado, no matter who is trying to draw you into strange abandoned chimneys this week, remember, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time.
Kid, love you. Bye.
Bye.